Good morning and welcome to day 5 of the Speedo Aquatics GB Swimming Championships here in London's beautiful Aquatic Centre. It is Saturday morning, our penultimate day of racing. I can't believe there's only 2 days left, but if you were getting comfortable for a morning of action, it's going to be your best Saturday morning you've had in a long time. I'll tell you why. The racing has been amazing. Last night was full of surprises and full of drama. I'm going to take you through some of the highlights right now. We started our night with that men's 100-meter butterfly. It was a shocker. Jacob Peters and James Guy missing out on that top 2 spot. Jacob obviously going out very hard in that first 50, but on the back end, Joe Litchfield and Joshua Gammon pitting him to the post for that one. Joe Litchfield confirming his place to Paris on that relay team, and our men's medley has now been confirmed. It was an amazing start to the night. And then we moved into another surprise. We had the women's 200-meter backstroke. Katie Shanahan, the hot favorite in this one, had already hit the nomination time in the 4 a.m., was coming in here, her main event, but Honey Osrin went out super fast in that first 100 and managed to hold on, hitting that nomination time, booking her place to the Olympics over the summer. Katie, of course, hitting that nomination time again in second place, so it's her second one for the week. We then moved into the women's 400-meter Paris final. It was a fantastic race. We saw Brock Whiston, Tony Shaw, Alice Ty, and Scarlett Humphrey all hit that nomination time. 4 people in that event. It was a brilliant one. There were smiles across the board. They were all incredibly happy with it, and we'll see how the selectors pick it. Over to the men's 200-meter individual medley Paris final. We had Will Ellard, Rhys Darby, and Cameron Verncombe all make that nomination time, all from the S14 classification. They were super happy with it, and it put themselves in a great position with their sights set on the Paralympics over the summer. We finished with a bang. That men's 200-meter individual medley saw Duncan Scott take the title. It was a stacked field. We had Duncan Scott, we had Tom Dean, we had Max Litchfield, who had already done it in the 400. We saw Duncan in first, Tom hitting that nomination time in second. And now, as Tom has already qualified himself onto the relay earlier this week, it's more than likely we're going to be seeing him in Paris in this event as well. But of course, he's going to have to wait until those selectors make their final decision. So that was last night, a Friday night of action. Saturday, set to be no different. Let's take a look at the schedule and see what you got to look forward to today. We're starting our day with the men's 800-meter freestyle. We then move into the women's 100-meter butterfly events. We have the men's 200-meter breaststroke events. Now, you see, that is not a para event. That does not exist at the Paralympics. This is an Olympic event only. The same is said for the women's 50-meter backstroke. That is a para multi-class event only. We then move into the men's 50-meter freestyle, and we finish with the women's 200-meter individual medley. But how do our athletes qualify themselves into the finals? How does the format work? Well, the top 8 athletes from Great Britain, from the heats, make it into that Paris final. Only the athletes from this final can qualify themselves an Olympic spot. We then have our B final. These are ranked 9th to 16th from the heats for Great Britain. We also then have our junior final. Now, these are the next 8 fastest juniors. Of course, some of those juniors may be swimming super fast and make it into the Paris or the B, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in this morning's session. Now, in the para program, the Paris Para Finals, it works a little bit differently. It's the top 8 from the heats for Great Britain that are ranked on points. So, how do we score our para points? They're based on classification. The para swimming classifications are as follows. S1 to S10 is physical impairments, S11 to S13 is visual impairments, and S14 is intellectual impairments, such as pattern recognition, sequencing, memory, ability to count stroke rate, things like that. This is how they're classified. Now, at this event, all of our S classes compete together. The top 8 for the final are going to be based on points. The points are based on a percentage of that class's world's best time. Now, we're looking for 2 things in our para events. Of course, points to make it into the final, and times for each classification to qualify themselves to the Paralympics. That is how it's going to work this morning. It all starts with our first heat here of the men's 800-meter freestyle. So it's going to be over to Andy Jamieson and Paul Noble in commentary to take us through the action. Let's get into it and enjoy your Saturday.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. Men's 800 meters freestyle. There's only 3 heats this morning, with the fastest heat declared winner, the fastest heat in the final session this evening. What a final session that going to be as well. The next 2 days are going to be just fabulous. Women's 200 AM tonight is going to be a stunner. Men's 50 free, of course. This 800 free tonight. Of course, that men's 200 free tomorrow night. That's going to be brilliant. Whatever you do, make sure you join us there. So the men's 800 metres freestyle, heats one of 4 heats in total, although only 3 this morning. And Lewis Maxwell of Northumberland and Durham is the fastest seed. He's in lane number 4, and he's gone off quickly down this first 50. Look at this, talk about pacing it and steady start. Gracious me, and 4 and 6. Lewis Maxwell and Hayden Annan. Hayden's had a good meet so far. He won a gold medal in the 16 years 200 metres freestyle at the British Summer Nationals last year. Just 17 years of age, closest to us, in lane number 6 there with that blue hat. Lovely long rangy stroke as well. It's just a beautiful stroke. Where he's entering just way out there and then still driving his arm forward, driving his hands forward. Almost spearing the water and then driving forward into the catch. That's the 100 metres turn, 57.3. He's a full second ahead of Daniel Cox in second. Third is Maxwell, Lewis Maxwell of Northumberland and Durham, of 58.4. Matthew Warburton fourth. Fifth at the top there is Sam Williams of Wickham and District. Well, normally you take a couple of 100 metres to settle in and then start getting your pace ready and get going. But these guys, they're going from the gun. But it used to be that 100 was a sprint, 200 was sort of starting to get middle distance, 400 was definitely middle distance, and 800 was miles. Well, nowadays it seems to be 100 and 200 are sprints, 400 is still a bit of a sprint. And the way they swim the 800, I don't know if you watched Daniel Whiffen at the European Short Course in December. That's in Romania. What a pen, my goodness me, broke the world record, and well, it's just like going like the clappers all the time. He trains at Loughborough. They've just been on a training camp out to Flagstaff in Arizona, up in the altitude over there. Fantastic place that is. And the altitude training camps. Quite a few swimmers now doing altitude training. It's not for everyone. Spoke to Molly Renshaw last night, and she wasn't the biggest fan. They do an awful lot of scientific testing, and they tested her bloods afterwards, and it didn't have that much of a difference for her, but some people absolutely love it. So this is the 250 metre turn, and Hayden Annan of Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson in lane 6 going well, just over the 32 point for his splits. Oh, actually, excuse me, 31.5 he was. The rest of the field going 32 points. But 31.5 for that last split. So we'll keep an eye on that. If he goes 63s, he'll probably end up going, what about somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 8.20. Can he do that? His best time's 8.33. So 3.03. He was 31.3 on that split, 31.5 on the previous one, so he's just picked up the pace a little bit. Some swimmers have been going slightly faster going one way up the pool than they have going the other way down the pool. Really interesting. There was about 0.3 of a second difference on one of the distance freestylers the other day. Let's see what Hayden does here. He was 31.5 going this way last time, 31.3 going back. He's just gone 31.9. Okay, so he's gone a little bit slower now. Maybe he's gone about a little bit quick. This is going to be the halfway turn coming up, so he's paid for that early pace a little bit. His lifetime best is 8.33. Well, even if he goes 32 lows from now on, he's going to go really well. He does look a little bit tired, but he's still smooth. Just lifting that head a little bit just as before he starts to breathe, but this is good. So coming into the halfway turn, and this is the first heat of only 3 this morning in the men's 800 freestyle. 4.07 at the split, 4.07.3 at the halfway, 4.09 for Maxwell, 4.12 for Booth Rudd, Cox 4th, Warburton 5th, Kingston 6th, Williams 7th. So 4.07.3, if he can even split, 4.07.3 would obviously be 8.14.6. Well, even if he drops a couple of seconds, You know, even if he goes to 8:20, lifetime best is 8:33. What's he gone here? 31.8, so he's still under 32s. Wow. So let's see if I can do my maths here. What was he? Was he 30? Was he 307 or 407 at the halfway? Something like that. 407. If he goes 32s, that'd be 64s. 4 of them is 16, and 7 is 23. So if he keeps this pace up, he'll be about 8:23, 8:22. Let's see where he goes here. Let's see if he can go under 32 seconds. 32.1, so he's still going well. That's 500 down, 10 lengths down, 6 to go. Anand leading from Maxwell in 4, Lewis Maxwell from Northumberland. And then up there in 2, it's Jack Booth Rudd of Portsmouth North Sea. And he was 16.24 on the 1500 freestyle. Really good swim from him. Lots of lifetime bests. The 1500 freestylers that I could find this morning in lanes 1. Sam Williams went 16.33. Jack Booth Rudd went 16.24, which was a very good swim indeed from him. Matt Warburton 16.29 in lane 3. And then Joseph Kingsley went 16.20. Dan Cox in lane 7, closest to us, 16.32. So all very, very similar times between 16.20 and 16.32. So this is the 600 metres turn, 4 lengths left in this, the first heat of the men's 800 metres freestyle. And Hayden Anand has led right from the gun, 32.3, so he's still right on that pace, is good. You know, I reckon he can go somewhere around 8.23, 8.22, and that'd be a 10 second, 11 second, 12 second lifetime best if he can do it. Anand over first, second is Maxwell. In lane number 4, Lewis Maxwell, a 21-year-old. Right in the centre, in the white hat, just coming into the shot there. But no doubt about the leader. What has he got, about 4 or 5 metres lead? Yeah, about 4 metre lead. And that one was 32.3, so he's still pretty consistent, starting to go to his legs a little bit with 3 to go. 3 lengths left. Well, suddenly he's picked it up again. Let's see what effect that has. Still a long way out, 150. Especially for a sprinter like me. I only did 2 lengths in total. So Anand looking good. Hayden Anand in lane 6. But he did pick it up at that last turn. He's gone back and looking a little bit tired again. Also starting to charge is Lewis Maxwell in the centre. So 32.9. It was a little bit more of a tired 50, that one. 32.1 from Lewis Maxwell, so he's definitely catching. Up there in third place in lane number 2 is Jack Booth Rudd. 32.7, so he was slightly faster than Anand as well on that last split. Let's see whether we can get Lewis Maxwell can get closer to Hayden Anand. Hayden gone really well. He went out really quickly, really committed to this race. What is this split? 32.0, much better. So he's 23 seconds over at the moment. If he can come back in a 31, that would be 8.24. That would be very good indeed. The black hat down at the bottom there of Hayden Anand of Royal Tunbridge Wells Monston, going very well indeed. Led from the front, from the gun. Second, Lewis Maxwell having a go, coming back well. So Hayden Anand's lifetime best with 10 to go, 8.33.94. And he's just gone 8.24. Wow. Pretty much the 10-second lifetime best on 800 freestyle. That's absolutely brilliant. Give us a smile, come on. He's probably exhausted, poor chap. Great swim though. Hayden Anand wins it. First heat of the men's 800 freestyle. Lewis Maxwell second. Third was Jack Booth Rudd up in lane 2. So 6 then 4 then 2. Fourth was Matt Warburton. Fifth, Joseph Kingsland. But the top 2 well inside their entry times. See, lifetime bests. Oh, lifetime best really good from each of the top 3 there. Hayden Anand winning it, Lewis Maxwell second, Jack Booth Rudd third, with Warburton 4th, Kingsland 5th, Cox 6th, and Sam Williams 7th. So that's the first heat done, heat 2 of 3. Very quickly through these 800 metres freestyle heats. The next race up is the women's 100 fly, which is going to be fascinating. And then we've got a men's 200 breaststroke and men's 50 freestyle. Can't wait for that. See Ben proud. He's waited a long time for his first event. And then those women in the 200 meters individual medley. That's the able-bodied races. Of course, some great para events as well to come.
Take your marks.
The second heat of the men's 800 meters freestyle, and Ethan Kelly, the 15-year-old in lane number 4. He swam 16 minutes for his 1500 meters freestyle, 16 minutes. He split 8:29 at the 800. This is the 800 freestyle, but going through to his 1500, he split 8:29 to his feet. It's lifetime best on 800 free, 8:26. So, Paul, he's only got to drop 3 seconds from the split time that he went through the 1500 at that 800 mark to do a lifetime best on the 800. He started off well. He's in lane 5 in the red hat. In 4, excuse me, is Ethan Kelly, the 15-year-old. But really good start from Jude Lydiard of Edinburgh University in 5.
Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it? 3 seconds slower than his lifetime best on the 800. And of course, the 1500's traditionally been the kind of target event, the Olympic event, until very recently. But we're seeing more of the 800s coming in for the male events. Good start here from Jude Lydiard here. He's certainly gone out at a pace in the early stages. Look at this. What an excellent swim here from the University of Edinburgh. University of Edinburgh had a good week, some good performances. Seen some surprise performances as well by the Edinburgh University, some very fast swims. Watching David Cumberledge the other day in the 100 freestyle, that was a bit of a shock. And Jude Lydiard is leading a line of swimmers, and they're almost all in formation behind him.
Well, they really are. Look at that. You could almost draw a line straight across the pool. Look at that thing. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 9, all in a line. Gracious me. No doubt about the leader, though. And he's still under averaging 30 seconds per 50. It's 159.4 for at 200 metres. It was a 31.4 split there, so we'll just keep on watching those splits. But goodness me, he's way ahead. Well, his lifetime best is Jude Lydiard from University of Edinburgh is 8:28. He's going to absolutely smash that. I mean, this is an amazing swim. Not only is it good, I mean, it looks great right now, but he looks like he's got a stroke and it looks like he's got an engine that can keep this going. 31.0. He's still repping over half a second faster than anybody else in the field per 50 at the moment. 31.0 at that 250 metre turn. He looks really good, doesn't he? Look at this.
Yeah, well, we saw in that previous heat a big performance there, a big improvement on the entry time, 8:24. So we'll have something to gauge it by when he gets to those halfway points. Lydiard, but absolutely fantastic, great technique here. Of course, it's been a long week for some of these swimmers. We had the distance swims right at the beginning of the week. We're now on day number 5. It's a long week for these swimmers to kind of keep their focus and come back for the distance swimmers at the end of the week on this 6-day trials meet. But Lydiard, well, certainly doesn't look like it's affected him. Let's just check the split on this one. He goes over at the 350, 31.9, so slightly down here. And that's kind of round about the pace we saw in that previous heat for Hayden Annan. He was round about the 32 point, I think.
Well, he was, but this guy here, this Jude Lydiard, is way ahead at this stage of the race. He is, you're right, Paul, he's now splitting about the same per 50. And he is starting to look a little bit more tired here. This is the halfway turn. So 400 metres down, 400 to go, and this is the second heat of only 3 heats of the men's 800 metres freestyle this morning. Lydiard over first, Denholm over second, Josh Denholm of Newcastle. And then third is Ethan Kelly of City of Liverpool, the 15-year-old in lane 4. He's still going very well. Fourth was Luke Booth. Fifth, Finn Drysdale. But still pushing. Let's see what the split is here. If he's somewhere around 32s, he's still going very well because he was out quick. Really quick. Let's see what he goes. 32.04, Paul. So he's right on that 31.9, 32.0. He's just gone a little bit slower per 50, but now he's starting to hold it at that level. This is still really great discipline on this 800 freestyle.
Yeah, he just hit the second half of this race again. We're talking about the 1500s, what the tactics of the 1500s, maybe some that's 3/500s, or maybe just getting the second half faster than the first half, or trying to keep that speed going. So he's hit the halfway point. He's made a little bit of a move at the halfway point, going up the way, but coming down the way, he suffered a little bit. He's dropped a little bit again, as you were saying, Andy. Going one way, he's having a good 50. Coming back the other way, he's toiling a bit.
Well, I mentioned the other day there was one major swim meet. It was a big international, and they were a little bit worried that was happening in a serious way on the outside lanes. One way everyone was going super quick, and the other way where they were going rather slowly. They ended up sticking a couple of those little yellow bath ducks in the pool. Just watched them. They went zooming down one way, and then they stuck them on the other side, and and there was zooming the other way, and there was basically the blowers. You know, the blowers that blow the water around the pool, and they were turned on still. So everyone was flying down lane 8 one way, and then couldn't come back at all. So they turned the blowers off. Guess what? It's even splits. That's a major international, Paul. Anyway, let's just give you an idea here where things are. Jude Lydiard, well, he's now dropped a little bit. He's now down to 32.8 for his last 50. And going very well. Actually, the fastest split so far is Luke Booth in lane 3. He's still a little bit behind. He's probably about 5 or 6 metres behind at the moment. But lane 3, Luke Booth, going well with about 150. You can see the top of that leading or that chasing pack in the white hats up in lane number 3. So over first is Lydiard. Luke Booth just third at the moment, but he's still splitting the fastest of the rest of the field. Booth in 3. Second to turn, though, was Josh Denholm. He's going 32.6s to Luke Booth 32.0. So it's about half a second, the white hat up the top there, half a second quicker per 50 than the rest of these chasing guys.
Yeah, it's a big lead, though, for Jude Lydiard. I think he's probably done enough. Just looking at the splits here as he comes to the belt. Jude Lydiard with that lead. Let's have a look at the gap here between him and the others. Yeah, it's around about 3 seconds, just about. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to catch that 3 seconds. The difference was around about half a second. They might close up on Jude Lydiard in this final 100, but I think the man from the University of Edinburgh is going to have done enough, and it's going to be, well, fairly decent time, I think. Somewhere in around about the mid 8:20s as they come in. They are closing very fast. Sure, they've left it too late, but they are closing extremely fast in this final 50.
Well, the chap in the red hat's just by his feet now is just 15 years of age, Ethan Kelly. This is very good indeed. Well, there's going to be lifetime bests all over the place here, I'm sure of that. But this heats 2 of the men's 800 metres freestyle. Just 3 heats this morning. Look at Ethan Kelly. Wow. Oh, my goodness me. He's head down already, 15 out. Oh, my goodness me. Look at that. What a finish. He's finished in 27.8 for his last 50 versus 30 point for Jude. Goodness me, 27.8. Well, I know he's going to watch this race back on the telly. And Ethan, go earlier. Go earlier. That was an unbelievable last 50. He looked fantastic. The young lad from Liverpool, City of Liverpool Swimming Club, my old swimming club. Very proud of him. Tell you what, he's a superstar for the future, isn't he? If he can get that pacing right, he's going to go really quick. Ethan Kelly wins the second heat of the men's 800 freestyle. 8:23.1, a new lifetime best by 3 seconds from him. Jude Lydiard in second, an 8:23.6. Oh, again, a 5-second PB from him. And Luke Booth in third, 8:25.8. And that, a 5-second lifetime best from him. Goodness me. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. And heat 3 of the men's 800 metres freestyle. Ollie Rowe of Mount Kelly, the fastest seed, going into this third. It's going to be the final heat that we'll see this morning. One more heat there will be today. That's in the evening session. Heat declared winner. 10 more fast guys after this one. And I'm delighted to say that fairly shortly we'll be having a quick chat with Chris Spice just after the start of this race. Chris Spice, performance director of Aquatics GB.
Take your marks.
So the full lineup is Flynn of Glasgow in 1, Sterry of Jersey Tigers in 2, Dutoft of Guildford 3, fourth is, in 3, start again. Flynn is in 0, Sterry is in 1, Dutoft in 2, Shafi in 3 with Rowe in 4, Logan 5, Travis of Aberdeen in 6, Kodaka of Leeds in 7, what a programme he's had. Sean McCann of Loughborough, he's swimming really well in 8 as well, and 9, Vista of Sheffield. Well, delighted, as I just said, to have join us in the commentary box this morning, Chris Spice, the performance director for Aquatics GB. And I've got to tell you, Chris, I've got to say congratulations on what an unbelievable change around you've made. I don't know how long you've been in the post now, but when you started to compare to where you are today, I mean, it's just night and day, and it's utterly brilliant. Well done, sir, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andy. You know, it's 10 years, that's, well, coming up 11 years, actually, so
Is it really?
it's gone incredibly fast.
You started when you were about 3 years old, did you?
Yeah, no, if I think back to Barcelona, my first Worlds in, 2013, we've come a long, long way in a short space of time in lots of ways. I think we won a bronze medal on the second last race of the day with Fran Helsel as our only medal. So, you know, if you look back at that and think of the journey we've been on since then, it's been pretty phenomenal.
And where have the major changes come? Because you obviously come in, I think you used to be in rugby, didn't you? You were performance director of rugby, you've done basketball, and you come into swimming. And I think you were a hockey player international, I think, if I'm right in saying that. So you've got fantastic background in so many sports. But when you come into a sport like swimming and you have a look, where have the biggest changes been made in terms of your performance director role?
I think the first thing we tried to do was look at what we had in the bank. You know, we seemed to have a lot of talented swimmers that could swim reasonably fast, but we couldn't swim fast on the big stage. So we set about trying to talk around some language and our practices around what we call the arena and our arena skills. And so we had pretty nervous athletes and coaches back in 2013, and now we've got people that feel home in the arena and that can step up rather than step back. And you're seeing that in the stage today, the great performances we've had this week already. And I think that's one of the main things. And the other thing we did, Andy, was we made selection a lot more difficult. So we raised the standard, and that, you know, people were unhappy about that in the beginning, and we understand all of that. But by raising the bar, you've got two options. Then you either want to step up to try and get into the team, and when you do, you know, you're in a much, much closer position to challenge for medals, and that's made a significant difference for the team once it's selected. Certainly harder to get in, but once they're on the team really can then gel because everyone's got the same goal.
That's fascinating, and I tell you what's also very interesting indeed from the outside looking in is that you haven't only been focusing just on the swimmers, but there's a big program around it, and particularly, and I'm delighted to say that the focus on the coaches has been quite a massive difference compared to when you first started.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I think when I came to a sport like swimming, and I've come from a team sport background, as you said, getting them to understand what team means and what does team coaching look like. We had some very good technical coaches, but they didn't really gel together as a team. So we spent a lot of time in those first few years understanding what good team coaching is, and then what it looks like in practice on the ground. And I brought a colleague of mine from rugby, actually, Nigel Redmond, who came into the program for 5 or 6 years with us early on. And we really changed a lot of the coaching that goes on in the arena. And we turned from becoming good trainers and good technicians to actually good team coaches in the arena. And I think the athletes really responded really well to that.
Indeed, they have done, and that success from Tokyo, where the swimming team was the most successful medal sport of all of Great Britain's team sports. I have to say that was quite something. I'll just give you an update here. This is the halfway turn, and this is the final heat this morning of the men's 800 metres freestyle, with that final heat this evening. And closest to us, so you can just see his feet on the right-hand side of that shot there, the black hat of Sean McCann of Loughborough University. Saw a really good 1500 metres freestyle going under 16 minutes there, 15:58, new lifetime best for him. And he's going very well at the moment, he really is. This is the 450 metre turn coming up, and if you look at the clock on bottom right, what is he now, 4 seconds only, 4.7 seconds over, averaging 30 seconds per 50. Very, very good indeed, and he looks like he can keep going. Look at that right hand surfing off the water. So McCann leading from lane number 5 at the moment. That's Arthur Logan of Edinburgh University, and the rest of the field, pretty even. There's 3 or 4 guys behind. Well, back to Chris Spice. Chris, obviously Tokyo was utterly brilliant. A very bizarre, it must have been a very bizarre experience though, with the whole COVID experience. And the one phrase I remember you saying, and I just loved it, was the pencil planning that went on then. How on earth you managed that? You maybe just explain that to everyone, because I love the idea, but maybe also what the difference between the plan and the approach for Tokyo versus the plan and the approach for this Paris Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I look back now and I think some of the things we had to do in Tokyo, we called it pencil planning because the sooner that we wrote something, almost the next day we had to rub it out because we had a different thing thrown at us, whether it was we couldn't travel in the way that we wanted, we couldn't get together in the numbers that we wanted. Every single thing seems to be changing. So we threw away all our pens and everyone got pencils out because we knew something was going to change. And we came up with this term that we wanted to adapt to achieve. So whatever came at us, we didn't see it as a problem, but we saw it as an opportunity. And we weren't going to whinge or complain about what was thrown at us and another thing to do. We were just going to accept it and go, okay, we're going to be better at this than anyone else in the world. Similar with the morning finals in Tokyo, a lot of people made a lot of noise about that. We refused to make any noise about that. It is what it is, and we set about with our science and medicine team making ourselves the best prepared team for morning finals, and I think we did that really well in Tokyo.
Oh, I totally agree, and the results spoke for themselves. I mean, the best medal sport of Great Britain, I mean, that was just fantastic, and I've been quoting that for the last 3 years. Obviously, it would be great to have that happen again in the next, in this next cycle, and it's coming up very soon. I'll ask you a slightly different question. What does success look like, do you think, for you in Paris, coming up to Paris now, and the results of Paris? What will success look like?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you get to a certain level in elite sport, you can't keep having your best year in history. You know, we had our best year in history at the Worlds in 15, and, there's been a number of them, the European short course last year, because the margins at the top now are very small. So, it's almost impossible to keep getting better. Even America can't do that if you look at the Worlds last year, for example. So we don't plan to step back, is all I would say. We don't plan to win less or win, but we plan to keep moving forward. So we don't have an exact target in our head. The government puts all that kind of stuff on us, but we don't focus on that, Andy. But we definitely want to move forward from where we were in Tokyo.
Well, moving forward, it's a massive task. That it really is, because it was so good in Tokyo. It was utterly brilliant, and I'd love to see it happen. There's some really exciting opportunities. I mean, who knows what Mr. Petey can do, but the performance he stuck in the other night was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, I think never underestimate Adam Petey. And those that do, you have to be careful, because, he's such an incredible competitor, and, his mindset is now back right in the game, and you saw that, I think, on night one. And what you see with Adam is the way that performance lifts the rest of the team, because it's such a significant performance across the piece for us.
Well, indeed it is, and he inspires so many, and I'm sure he's going to have inspired Sean McCann here in lane 8. This is a very good swim indeed. His lifetime best, well, it's going to be utterly destroyed, isn't it? 8:25, and this is a different swimmer, 8:12. My goodness me, 8:12 for 800 metres freestyle. And let's also shout out there, Arthur Logan, 8:14. That's a great swim. 8 minutes 12 off an 8:25. My word, that's just extraordinary. That's proper world-class distance freestyle swimming. That's very, very exciting indeed. And he's still not even 20 years of age. He's only 19, is Sean McCann. Joined the Loughborough University program there, and the strides forward that he's making, that was a really, really impressive swim. So Sean McCann wins it, 8:12 1.2. Second was Arthur Logan from Edinburgh University, 8:14. Here we go, confirmation of the results. So McCann wins it, Logan second, Travis third, 8:21. Dutoft fourth, Rowe fifth. Look at that. 7 guys under 8:30. Very, very good indeed. Well, that's exciting. That is exciting. Well, let's see, next race is up. I think it's the women's 100 fly. Here it is. And fascinating hearing from Chris Spice and what he's looking for. How on earth you improve from that performance in Tokyo? I just don't know. But It's your job, not mine, thank goodness. But I've got to say, Chris, so grateful for what you've done for British swimming so far over the last 10 years, and long may it continue and long may it keep on going well. Thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
So next race up is the women's 100 fly. There's 8 heats. British record held by Ellen Gandy, set in 2012. 12 years ago.
Take your marks.
57.2. So Annabelle Compton right in the centre from Wickham District set a lifetime best in the 50 metres freestyle, so she's on great form on the sprinting, right in the centre. She's in lane number 4. Going well down this first 50 though is, well, let's see, maybe closest to it actually. That's the Harrogate swimmer, Lily Stansfield, the 14-year-old. 14. Gracious me, this is the Aquatics GB National Senior Championships. As juniors come in, and well, there's only one qualification time. There's no junior qualifying time or senior qualifying time. It just is. And there's so many juniors doing really well. That yellow hat at the bottom, Lily Stanfield, going very well indeed. Right at the top also is Martha Sell of City of Bristol. Maybe just about in lane 3, one lane up from her. At the top there is Evelyn Toy of Bristol Penguin Olympic. There's a cracking name. Look at this though. It looks like the Bristol Penguin Olympic swimmer is going to win this first heat, the women's 100 fly. Oh, a little bit of a jam on the wall, but 103.56. That's a new lifetime best for her. If she finishes like that, she can go, well, she can nearly go 62 with a swim like that. If she can just maybe about 10 metres out of the wall, just maybe try and spot the finish and finish on the end of a full arm stroke. Very good swim though. New lifetime best for Evelyn Toy of Bristol Penguin Olympic to win the first heat of 8 heats of women's 100 fly. Second was Annabelle Compton. Third, Lily Stansfield. Gosh, it just comes thick and fast, doesn't it? Here's heat 2 already. Heat 2 of the women's 100 fly. And Larissa Dean of University of Birmingham, fastest seed in 4. Really closely seeded, these swimmers. Fastest seed is 63.49. Slowest seed is 63.79. 3100s, splitting 10 swimmers.
Take your marks.
So heat number 2. Trying to challenge that time from the Bristol Penguin Olympic swimmer in that first heat. I think Andy enjoyed that one. But can anyone challenge that time in the second heat? Very good start right up there at the top. Might be Scarlett Shepherd from Bristol. In fact, no, one lane down actually. Eloise Cole, Bedford Swim in lane number 2. Lane number 0 catching us out again right at the top. Anna Stansfield at 29.12. Entry times, as Andy said, very, very tight indeed. 103.49 down to 103.79. So keep your eyes right the way across the pool here. See if anyone can challenge that time. Anything in the low 103s would be a lifetime best for these swimmers. And coming through very strongly, 2 lanes from the top now. Eloise Cole, I think, might just take this one. Oh, a little bit of a glide at the end there. But it was good enough to just take that one. 103.37 for her. She'll be pleased with that improvement on the entry time by a couple of tenths of a second. Second place was Georgia Peace and Eliza Pinkstone right down at the bottom. They're only separated by 3/100ths of a second. So top 4 swimmers in the 103 range. And that is pretty much on a par, the winning time with that first heat. And as I said, danger all over the pool there. The outside lane's doing well. The middle lane's not so well on that previous one. And here's the lineup for heat number 3. Henrietta De Massa from City of Manchester Aquatic in 4. Rebecca Amore from Copeland goes in at lane number 5. The yellow hat of Jessica Huggins, I think that was, and Lois Child next to her, the 2 yellow caps right at the top there.
Take your marks.
Again, entry times very, very close together. These early heats, very difficult to pick a winner. But good opportunities for any of the swimmers here. I know they've got a chance over anyone in this field. Times ranging 103.24 to 103.48, so only 0.24 of a second between them. Again, it's the outside lanes, or close to the outside lanes, that are leading them into the halfway. He's hugging to that yellow cap right at the top there. Thornburg, Ella Thornburg from Crawley in lane number 8, closest to us with that blue cap. Yeah, looking good in the early stages. Maybe it's between those two as they coming down towards us in the commentary position. We've got a really good vantage point here, right on the 15-metre line. As I sit right on poolside. And it is going to be the Crawley blue cap. Is it going to be the yellow cap? Is it going to be lane 4, Henrietta De Massa from City of Manchester? It is the late charge from the Manchester swimmer, 102.82 for her. Dipping under her lifetime best and into the 102 range. Well done, there's a smile from Henrietta De Massa. As we were saying a few days ago, that scoreboard quite far away from the finish. Andy did think it was my eyes, but I think a few swimmers will agree with me.
Oh, if you can't see it, I think it might be your eyes. I'm not really sure how else to put it for. It's a fabulous, two wonderful scoreboards at the end of the pool. I've got to say they are fabulous. The writing's a tiny bit small, but it's very good. Heat 4, men's. Heat, start again. Heat 4, women's 100 metres butterfly. Just starting to get towards the sharp end now. 6, 7 and 8. Heat 6, 7 and 8 are the fastest 30 swimmers in Great Britain. This is Heat 4.
Take your marks.
So the fourth heat of 8 of the women's 100 metres butterfly, and in lane number 4, Isla Jones of City of Sheffield is the fastest seed. And actually closest to us in lane number 9, that's Coco Croxford, swam in the European Youth Olympic Festival. That's an event for 13 and 14-year-old girls and 15 and 16-year-old boys. They swim the full Olympic programme in 4 days. Only one per country allowed to progress from heats to semis to finals. Maximum of 8 men and 8 women per country. Every other year it's held, and it's, well, she's going well at the bottom there, isn't she, Coco Croxford? No doubt about the leader, though, right in the centre there in lane number 5. It's Shola Robinson of City of Sheffield. Teammates in 4 and 5, Isla Jones and Shola Robinson, and Robinson going well, going very well. Well, let's see, her lifetime best is 62.8, so that's quick, 62.8. She's going to go underneath that. She's going to be right on it. 1, 2 and a small shorty. Yeah, oh, 62.69. So she's 0.2, almost a quarter of a second underneath her lifetime best. Dead heat for first. And Coco Croxford right at the bottom there. And 15-year-old Coco also tying for first. 62.69 with a lifetime best of 63.2. So 2 really good swims. Don't often see times for first. There we go. Robinson and Croxford tying for first. Third was Watson, fourth Renfrew, and fifth was Owen. First 3 under 63 seconds. Lifetime best for the joint winners. Here's Heat 5, the women's 100 metres butterfly. European junior consideration time is 60.98. So many juniors have made it. They actually set the consideration time in a time that would progress through to an evening swim at the European Junior Championship. So semi-finals and finals for the 50s, 100s, 200s, and slightly harder a final time for the 4s, the 8s, and the 15s. So it's a decent, sensible qualifying time, and goodness me, they've had so many do it. Only take a team of 30, but they've had over 50 achieve that consideration time so far. So the issue now, the target now for these swimmers is not only to achieve the consideration time set for the European Junior Championships, but actually you've got to beat it by as much as possible, because it's all now going to go on the percentage better than the consideration time. I mean, it's tough, but it's very exciting. What an embarrassment of riches Alan Lynn's got as the junior performance director. I mean, that's a great opportunity for Great Britain.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, some of the swimmers who've done those times earlier in the week, they might be coming back for a second event and maybe thinking, well, I'm going to have to go a little bit better in my second event. I only just made the junior standard time, and I'm going to have to better that this one. But into this heat number 5, it does look like it is maybe lane 6, I think. Harriet Rogers going well, Loughborough University. And she comes in lane number 3, I think. Possibly Edie Price, who's had a good week. Might just take that one. Another good swim there from Mount Kelly swimmer Edie Price. And then she comes in. Take that one in 1:01.78. Excellent time for her. Well, I think that's a bit of a shock on the face of Edie Price. He has just jumped into the 101 range. 102.41 was a lifetime best before that. It's Stella McCarty in second, just touching ahead of Harriet Rogers by 1/100th, but 1:01.78, and that's the type of reaction we need. That open-mouthed astonishment there from Edie Price.
Well, it's great to see, and that's what you come for, isn't it? You've trained so hard for so long to go and perform like that and have a reaction like that, and I've got to say the Mount Kelly team's having a super meet here. They deserve whatever they get. Well done. Well done indeed. So this is now heat 6 of 8. This is the first of the seeded heats in the women's 100 fly, and Harriet Jones right in the centre, the Welsh record holder. I think she went to Tokyo. I think she was on the Olympic team, wasn't she, 3 years ago? 57.7's a lifetime best. My word, when she does that, she'll be right up there in the final. So the first of the seeded heats, heat 6 of 8 heats of women's 100 fly. Jessica Lawson of Bristol. Can she go sub 60, lifetime best of 60.16? So I think it's going to take somewhere around sub 60 to get into the final this evening. Harriet Jones in 4, in 5 is Kira Schlossen. And there's some great swimmers in here. Constance Phillips of Nova Centurion 7, but no doubt about the leader going down this first 50. It is in lane number 4, the Welsh superstar Harriet Jones.
Yeah, City of Cardiff have a great record in getting people onto the Olympic team. I think it stretches back decades, I think, the City of Cardiff team. And Harriet Jones got to be a good chance for them to make that team. But first of all, she's got to try and make this final. And she's got almost a body length lead here over Kira Schlossen in second place. Like Jones got this one sewn up.
So Harriet Jones looking very good indeed. 58.4. Well, that's a new season's best for her. And it's only a heat swim. That's interesting. 58.44. Fastest she's gone this season. It's in the heat. Yeah, job done there. That's a very good swim. That'll give her a centre lane for the final. I don't think there's going to be too many 57s this morning. So 58.4 is very fast. Schlossen second, Stott third, Lawson fourth, Murray fifth. Look at that, 58.4. She won it by, what, a second and a half from Schlossen, Stott, Lawson. Wow. Okay, second last heat. Women's 100 fly. They're all in here. Look at this. Holly Hibbett won the 400 freestyle last night. Laura Stevens, world champion 200 fly. Emily Large. Not sure Emily Large is going to swim, actually. Let me just check. No, she's withdrawn. So Emily Large is not here. She was third in the 200 fly. Eva Acaro, she's had a good meet. 24.9 on the 50 metres freestyle. Also had a great meet. It's Holly Widdows, not really a backstroker, but she swam a fantastic 100 back.
Yeah, watch out for Eva Acaro here in the early stages, possibly in lane number 6. I almost think of her as a freestyle sprinter, whereas Laura Stevens, the world champion, of course, on 200 butterfly.
Take your marks.
Expect her to come back strong in the second 50.
So the second last heat of the women's 100 metres butterfly. Best start probably coming from lane number 6, I think it was there, Eva Acaro. Well, I would imagine she'll be looking to try and make that team for Paris on the 4x100 free relay. She's had a great 50 metres sprint freestyle already, coming second to Anna Hopkin outside of the nomination time. So I don't think she'll be considered for the Olympic team for that, but she can certainly make top 4 on the 100 free, and if the combination of those times is under the selection time, then all 4 will be selected here.
Yeah, Stevens there just with the touch over Akara as expected. She did go out a little fast, Akara. I'm just going to try to hold off the challenge of the others here, but Laura Stevens again, like we saw in that first heat from Harriet. And it looks like Laura Stevens got this one sewn up with clear water between her and the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? Very impressive indeed. The world champion on the 200 metres butterfly came back and was second on this trial on the 200 fly to Kiana McInnes. What a swim that was from McInnes, but 58.9 wins the second last heat of the women's 100 fly. Laura Stevens looked comfortable. She goes out relatively slowly compared to the rest of the field, but my word, she comes back quickly, Laura Stevens. I know she's been working a lot on her speed, and her and Dave Hemmings, that world title, world champion women's 200 fly, went in Doha earlier this year. What a swim that was. Absolutely brilliant. So the final heat of the women's 100 metres butterfly, and Kiana McInnes is right in the centre, the defending champion. McInnes in 4, already Paris bound. She's on the train. She won the gold on the 200 fly. Brilliant swim that was. Big surprise as well, I think.
It was.
Including to her, I think.
Yeah. What a comeback that she had. And there she is. That's a confident face of Kiana McInnes. Pressure off now. She's got that spot on the team. Let's see what she can do in this 100. She's next to her teammate Lucy Grieve, right in the centre of the pool. This could be, well, we've seen the times a little bit earlier. There's a few on the 60 point, so anything under 60 or kind of low 60s should get you a place in that top 8, you would think.
Well, you'd think so. There's nobody in lane 1. So Blythe Kinsman up there in lane 0, actually got clear water either side of her. Obviously the wall is not going to give her any splashes on one side with a anti-wave lane rope and the deck level pool, but going well down this first 50 metres is Kiana McInnes, the champion on the 200 fly. She's on the train to Paris. Fantastic swim that 200 fly was. Good turn also from Lucy Grieve of Stirling.
Yeah, McInnes going out well. Lucy Grieve again, better known as a sprint butterflyer as well, and she's coming back on McInnes now. The two from Stirling look like they are destined to be in that final. Also one down, Pryor in 3rd place at the minute, just edging Betsy Wizard.
So it's the 2 University of Stirling swimmers, McInnes in 4, and 5 it's Lucy Grieve who gets the touch. It is McInnes, 58.78 from Grieve and 58.95, but that's 2 good swims from both of them. A new lifetime best for Grieve coming in 2nd, her first time under 59 seconds. So very good from her. And Kiana McInnes, well, I think that was pretty comfortable from McInnes. Her season's best this year is 57.9. She's just gone 58.7, so 0.8 slower than her season's best. But, well, one, she's already on the train. She is on the train to Paris. Well done, that 200 was brilliant. Didn't need to go that quick this morning, and let's see the qualifiers for the final this evening then. 60.73's made it. Oh, Holly Hibbett 60.76, 3/100ths of a second outside of qualifying. Jones in fastest, McInnes is in there, Grieve, Stevens, world champions in there, Schlossen, Okaro. Gracious, what a final that's going to be. I think it's going to be really tight. And quite a lot of cat and mouse this morning, I think, Paul.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Kiana McInnes pushed it too hard on that second 50. I think Laura Stevens looked relaxed as well. But the 4 on the 58 point. Of course, 100 butterfly. I don't know if that's considered. I mean, obviously, they'll have to do the sums about the relay team as well. But the winner of the 100 butterfly might come into contention for the medley relay.
Well, I think the official rule, and it certainly happened on the men's side, is if you add up all the individual 100 metres races, so that the 100 fly, the 100 back, the breast and the free, if they all make the cuts, then they go, whoever they are, if they won. Let's hear from John Mason in the studio.
Now I'm back down here on pool deck with Laura Stevens and Kiana McInnes. They put on a hell of a show the other night for the 200. Kiana, I'm going to come to you first, because obviously getting that booking your place to Paris in a 200, it was a tough race, but sort of takes the pressure off, I suppose.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to do that the other night, and I think, yeah, going into tonight, it's given me a lot of confidence. I think trained for the 200, but obviously the 100 comes down that with that. And I train with Lucy Greaves, so she definitely brings my speed down as well. So it's nice to see her got into the 59 mark for the first time ever this morning as well.
Oh, we'd love a little PB for Lucy. We love that. And, you know, it's 100 metres less, obviously a shorter race, a faster race. Laura, I know you hit that nomination time the other night. It was a brave swim, like your coach said. Sort of reassessing coming into this and just getting the job done tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, like you said, the 100s, it's fun. It's half the distance of the two, so I think we can both, like, just enjoy it tonight. I mean, apparently the pool's sold out, so I think it's going to be nice and loud in here. There's going to be a good atmosphere, so, you know, just come back, soak it all up and enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, enjoy it. Put on a show for us. We'd love to see it. Well, good luck tonight, and it's back to Andy in commentary.
Thank you, John. Great to hear from those two brilliant butterfly swimmers. One of them world champion, the other just won the trial here. And she's on the plane, on the train even, on the train to Paris. I can't believe they're not going to take Laura Stevens, though. They just simply can't. Anyway, excuse me, Paul, women's MC 100 metres butterfly.
Yeah, 2 heats of this multi-classification. 100 butterfly for para swimmers. There is Alice Ty in lane number 3. Well, Alice Ty's had a great week. So is Brock Whiston. They're both in the S8 classification. Number S1 to S10 are for swimmers with physical impairments, with S10 being the least impaired and S1 being the most impaired. So we've got 2 S8s, Alice Ty and Brock Whiston in the GB black caps, and Megan Willis, the S9 swimmer, the young swimmer from Tour Flying Dolphins. And Megan Willis has had a good week. Speaking to her briefly yesterday, she said she's pleased with her times. Commonwealth Games swimmer for the Welsh team. They go over the halfway point. Well, nomination time for the S8, 1:14.74. That's the 2 swimmers in the outside lanes. And both of these swimmers will have designs on doing that. They both achieved nomination times in previous events. Brock Whiston last night in the 400 freestyle. And Alice Ty, a number of nomination times to her name this week. She just keep going back to that superb World Championships that she had in 2019 when she won 7 golds. Brock Whiston competed there as well, and she won 3 golds. So we have got 10 World Championship medalists in this pool. Brock Whiston, 1:14.03, and that will be enough to be another nomination time for Brock. Excellent stuff from Brock Whiston. She is coming onto form in the later part of the week. Alice Ty, as we have said earlier this week, she missed Tokyo because of injury. She had an amputation. Alice Ty, 1:16.06 this time for her, 775 points for Alice, but 840 for Brock Whiston. I think the butterfly is the one that's probably been most of a challenge for Alice Ty. Getting back into the water, freestyle looking great, backstroke looking great. The butterfly not quite back to what she was before that amputation, but that, no surprise. Alice Ty, real world superstar. And in heat number 2, there's a few superstars in here as well. Number of S14 swimmers. 2 S10 swimmers in amongst all the S14. So that's Louise Fiddis. She goes in lane number 5. She's next to Callie-Ann Warrington. Callie-Ann in lane number 4. This is a big opportunity for her to achieve the nomination time, and a big opportunity for Faye Rogers, the world champion, who goes in lane number 6. In lane 10, in S10 class. Faye Rogers, he was a swimmer, swam in the Olympic trials in 2021 as an age group swimmer. She was in these trials at that point. Shortly after the trials, she was heading for her university place in Aberdeen, had a car accident, had major surgery on her arm, and that's left her with a permanent impairment. So Faye Rogers has come in to para swimming. And Aquatics GB are delighted with that because she took the world title last year. And she's a big medal hope going into Paris. A little bit of a delay, not sure why. Georgia Sheffield, there's the world champion from last year, Faye Rogers. British record stands at 105.48. Callie-Ann Warrington in the same class as Faye Rogers, going in lane number 4. Both of them will be chasing that nomination time of 108.76. And all the others in the field, S14s, chasing the nomination time of 106.1. So we are away. Good underwater work there, you have to say, by Georgia Sheffield in lane number 3. Up and into the stroke, though, 2 lanes from the bottom. Poppy Maskell, well, what a beginning of the week Poppy Maskell had. A couple of nomination times already under her belt, and she is trying to go for another one. Olivia Newman-Baronius, the new S14 on the block. She set a British record just recently in the World Series in Italy. 104.12. Now the world record stands at 103.33, so Olivia Newman-Baronius not too far away from that world record mark at the World Para Series in Italy. Just wonder if she's got a few designs on this one. Jessica Jane Applegate going well at the top here. Paralympic champion in 200 free back in 2012. But here is Olivia Newman-Baronius. Let's have a look at the clock here. British record 104.1, world record 103.3 and 103.8. Well, just outside that world record, but inside the British record. So British record has gone for Olivia Newman-Baronius, and she looks delighted with that one. Just checking back, Callie-Ann Warrington and Faye Rogers. Well, Faye Rogers, nomination time for her. She's clinched that one, the world champion, in 106.40. And Callie-Ann Warrington, oh goodness, she's missed the standard by only 0.1 of a second. 108.88 for Callie-Ann Warrington. 108.76 was the standard. So the top 2 swimmers in that second heat, they will clinch the nomination times. Callie-Ann Warrington just outside, and there's the qualifiers for tonight's final. All down to Alice Tighe, who'll get another chance for a swim. And Megan Willis just missing out, 11th place, 658 points. So that is the final 2 heats. And we can now go back to John Mason, is with some of the swimmers in the studio.
Well, a fantastic start to our para program this morning. We just had a British record from Olivia in that. How close was that to the world record you just said, Alice?
She just said she was 0.4 off the world record, so finals tonight, maybe.
Maybe. We might see a world record tonight. I can't wait. But Alice and Brock, both of you guys, British champions already this week. Back in there, putting in some decent swims in that event. Going head-to-head tonight, it should be a fun one.
I think I might pull out the final, not going to lie. The 400 really wrecked me yesterday. I've not been training for it, and my final swim just I gave it my all, but I'm absolutely exhausted, and I want to focus on the 100 free tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be allowed to pull out. We'll see, though. I'll talk to my coach.
Talk to your coach. I mean, you always swim a massive program. Is that sometimes difficult to manage?
Yeah, I mean, back in 2019, when I was less injured and hadn't had my amputation, it was a bit easier. But I mean, this is one of the meets that we're practicing at, because I think we're looking to try and do as many events in Paris as reasonable. So we're just trying to figure out where I'm at, whether or not the 400, if I'm going to be exhausted the day after, where that falls in the program. So yeah, we're trial and error. Trial and error.
And Brock, you just added the 400 to your program as well. You swam it last night. It was a big swim. Is that something that we're going to see you keeping as well?
I mean, for me, the 400 was, definitely a fun event that we added. I had the 200 IM, 100 breaststroke, my main focuses in 2019. So we added the 400, but it looks like now the 100 flies being added in. So But I was 0.09 off the qualifying time for Paris, so see what I do in the final. But I think between me and Alice, we're pretty strong in the S8, so it's quite nice to have someone to race against at competitions, so yeah.
Of course, and I love watching it. Look, good luck tonight. Go do amazing.
Well, they look happy, those two. Brock Whiston and Alice Ty. They look in a good place. Heading into Paris, I'm sure they will be selected. And I hope you heard that, Andy. 400 freestyle, a fun event. Of course it is.
Oh. I don't really know what to say there. There's quite a few answers. I'm not sure too many are broadcastable, but hey, if you're good at it and you enjoy it, why not? I mean, there's a lot of people who are just utterly brilliant at it, aren't they? I mean, in Great Britain, we've got some stunning 400 metres freestyle swimmers and all throughout the world. You just do what you do, and if you're good at it, then it's great. If you're good 1500 freestyler, then absolutely yes. If you're good 50 freestyle, if you're good 100 fly swimmer, I mean, I completely get that one. 100 freestyle, totally get that one. I mean, it was right up my street, but I guess the polite answer and the right answer and the correct answer is do what you do that you enjoy the most, because if you enjoy it, you're probably going to go well, you're probably going to swim quick, you're going to keep your interest in it. Just do what's fun. Go and have some fun. You've only got one life to live. Go and live it. And if that means 400, good luck to you.
The para swimmers here certainly having fun. We've got a number of nominations. We've got quite a few people that have made the nomination times. It's getting quite close to that top number, actually, Andy. Certainly on the women's side. The Aquatics GB swimmers for the para events are getting towards that top number in the quota that they have for Paris. And we have a few men as well. Not so many men as we have women, but we probably expected that. Still some people that haven't been in the water for their best event. Still 100 breaststroke tomorrow. Could get a few qualifiers in that one on the para event.
Yeah, same on the able-bodied. Ben Proud goes this morning on the 50 freestyle. He's had to wait all week. Imagine waiting till the last day. Oof.
Oh. Some more delays there.
I think there's a swimming hat in one of the lanes, so I think we're just going to try and fish that out somehow.
That should be an easy fix.
We need one of your tappers with a long pole.
We do.
Or a swimmer who's just got out, but they're all at the other end at the moment. So
the Humphreys are on a little bit later on this morning, I think.
Or
there we go.
Or a 7-foot athlete who's got arms like you wouldn't believe. There you go. I don't know how tall he is, but he must be about 17 feet 12. He's got huge arms, that chap. Good on him. Good on him.
He's gone back to lane 6. Must be Jamie Steadman.
Take your marks.
So it's the first heat of 8 heats of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, and there's some cracking swimmers in this event. The well-known swimmers certainly in the final heat, James Wilby and Archie Goodburn. James Wilby, what a swimmer he is. He's the English record holder. I think this is probably his best event. It'll be an interesting discussion between this and the 100, but Wilby really is world-class. Silver medal at the World Championships on the 100 to PT. Unfortunately for him, he's just been around at the wrong time on breaststroke, hasn't he, with Mr. PT in Britain. But he's still won his fair share of gold medals, won the Commonwealth Games, won the European Championships. He's European champion. Right in the centre here, though. Look at this. This is a great start from the swimmer in lane number 5, Charlie Joe Hallett of Plymouth Leander. Lifetime best 2:22. It is the fastest. He's the fastest on paper in this first heat of men's 200 metres breaststroke. He started off very quickly. Too quickly, I wonder. Let's see. Split 66.1 and his best is 2:22. My word. Well, if he comes back and does 2:36s, he's 2:18 with a best of 2:22. Wow. Very quick first 100.
Yeah, great shot of the technique there of the leader. He's almost very high in the water, almost diving into that breaststroke at the front. And we were discussing the other day about the differences in, we do see a number of people maybe do 50, 100 and 200 freestyles. Matt Richards being one of them. Got a chance in there. We talked about Oliver Morgan doing the 50, 100 and 200 backstroke. Very similar strokes for that, but this 200 breaststroke seems to be almost a different world away from the 50 breaststroke technique and the 100 breaststroke technique.
Well, he's going very well right in the centre here is Charlie Joe Hallett of Plymouth Leander. He started off quickly. I was a little bit worried he'd gone too quick, but this is very good. He's holding on really well. Just about in second place. One lane closer to us is Jamie Steadman of Cleveland, with Gideon Shepherd of Cardiff just about in third. But this is a great swim. Lifetime best is 2:22.4. He's 2:21.4. Wow, very good indeed. A full second inside his lifetime best for the winner, Charlie Joe Hallett of Plymouth Leander. Second, Jamie Steadman of Clevedon. Third, Gideon Shepherd of Cardiff, with William Dean of Bath in fourth. Fifth was Charlie Rogers, and sixth, Max Wass. Wow. Well, he certainly went for it, Paul, and that's an impressive attack. But if you're going to come to these championships and you're going to try and do your best, it's the commitment and the guts to go for it, and he certainly did that. Charlie Joe Hallett winning in a time of 2:21.4, a full second lifetime best for him. Steadman second. Very good.
Yeah, and he didn't slow down at all. He was the fastest of all the swimmers on that final 50 as well, so managed to maintain that right the way through to the end. There's the lineup for heat number 2. Michael Flynn. Apologies, not Michael Flynn, it's Michael Flynn cap. Must be Matthew Garrity there, I think, in lane number 4. These caps are catching us out a little bit.
That's tricky. You stick a name on a hat, yeah. You'd expect it to be him, don't you? That's a little bit tricky. I think they're doing that to fox this, Paul.
Could be a thing, could be a theme.
Well, this is the second heat of 8 of the men's 200 breaststroke, and let me tell you, once they get going, they really do come thick and fast. That was Mr. Garrity. Mr. Garrity is in lane number 4. Matthew Garrity of City of Glasgow. So the full lineup: Tetlow of Geary in lane 1 up there in Scotland. 2 is Lovell Pascal of Swansea. 3 Milburn of Enfield. Jacob Barnett of Northumberland Durham in 4, with Matthew Garrity is in in 4. Start up 0, lane 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is Hickman of Wolverhampton. 6 is Ben Rogers of Aberdeen. 7, Joseph Martin of Newcastle. 8, Fielder of Gloucester City, and Ollie Caddick of Loughborough University closest to us, and gone very well down this first 75 metres of this second heat, the men's 200 metres breaststroke, in lane 9. Apologies for getting those lanes wrong at the start. I keep thinking lane 1 is at the top. Lane 0 is at the top of the picture in the heats, and lane 9 closest to us. We use 10 lanes in the heats and just 8 lanes in the final. So this evening, the swimmer at the top will be in lane 1. But this morning, the swimmer at the top is in lane 0.
Yeah, and swimmer at the bottom it is. Oliver Caddick, Loughborough University. Again, as we've said, very, very close in terms of entry times and personal best times. I think all the entry times for the swimmers in this one are their lifetime best. So if they can go any faster than 22, it's like 2:25 and a half. Be on for a good time. It's a little bit of a spearhead forming at the front, but it's still Caddick in the outside lane, still going well. 38.1 there. They're just closing on him by around about half a second or so in the middle, and maybe that momentum will take them through. That blue cap of Garrity and Michael Flynn's cap there in the centre.
It does look like Garrity in 4 is charging from City of Glasgow. He looks very good indeed in the centre. Also coming back very quickly is Lewis Hickman, 1 lane closer to us in 5. He's still about half a metre behind, but the rate that he's catching up here is really quick. Also going well up in lane 2 is Mark Milburn of Enfield. It's going to be tight on this finish. I think Garrity's going to hold on, does he? Oh, it's close. No. Milburn takes it. In the end, takes it by 0.23 of a second. Gosh, that looked much closer than that, didn't it? So the winner was Mark Milburn. Great finish, the 19-year-old from Enfield up in 2. Second was Matthew Garrity, 2:24.4. Third, Lewis Hickman, 2:24.5. So 0.3 of a second splitting the top 3. Milburn wins it from Garrity and Hickman, with Caddick, Barnett, Fielder and Rogers just behind them. Such a close race that was, and that charge from Lewis Hickman was amazing right at the end. Heat 3 of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. 8 heats in total, and Cameron Rapson of City of Birmingham is the fastest seed. 9 juniors in this, the third heat of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. And I can tell you the European Junior Championships, which are being held in Vilnius in Lithuania later this summer in July. The British team consideration time set for that, set to make sure that all swimmers would have a best chance of having a second swim in the evening, go through to the semis and the finals. We've already had 45 swimmers beat the consideration time. 45 swimmers beaten the consideration time, and those 45 swimmers have done 62 swims that are underneath the European Junior consideration time. So I'll just tell you again, 45 swimmers, but there's only 30 places. So what they're now going to do is they're going to go to how much under the consideration time you've done, and it's on a percentage just to make sure that the 50 and the 1500 freestyle are both fair. But it looks like you've got to go, well, at the moment, something like 1.2% underneath the consideration time just to be able to make the team. And that's probably a little bit more. Somebody's gone 5% under. Max Morgan on the 100 breaststroke. Gracious me, that's amazing.
Well, will they take people for like the 200 breaststroke if you go in? Will that rank higher than maybe the third person on 100 freestyle if they've all gone over?
I don't believe so. And interesting choice of events there, because 200 breaststroke's an interesting one, but men's 100 free, women's 100 free, I think they'll take relays, so they may take more for those events. You can swim 4 swimmers in the heats at the Junior European Championships, but only 2 of those 4 are allowed to progress to the semi-finals and then the finals. So it'll be interesting in terms of selection, but you've obviously got to be in the top 4 in an event, because if you're the 5th 200 breaststroker, you can't be taken because there are only 4 slots per country. So you can't do that one, but I would imagine that they'll be trying to fill it up with a relatively balanced team. But the selection policy says, I think, that it's those with the highest percentage under the consideration time, I guess going at least, or at maximum, 4 swimmers per nation in any one event.
Yeah, one for the selectors, definitely. It's going to be a headache, isn't it?
You did ask me. That's what I think. That's what I think. But just to be clear, and I'll clarify that, I'm not a selector. The selectors will be doing that. And Alan Lynn, who's running this performance program for the juniors, super guy, him, very grateful for the help he's given me this week. There's so many juniors here, and they've been swimming brilliantly well. And right in the centre here, you've got Cameron Rapson, another junior, and he's going to win this, the third heat of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, I think. Oh, he's just got it. Yes, he has. 2:23.8. Well, the consideration time for the European juniors are 2:19.9, so he's just outside of that, but he's very happy. And the reason is because he's just got a new lifetime best. First time under 2:24. 2:23.82 wins it from Caden Silla. Second, 2:24.2, new lifetime best for him. Adam Bradley in third, another lifetime best for him. So top 3 at least. I haven't gone through the full program there, but at least the top 3 lifetime best. Well done. And heat 4 of the men's 200 breaststroke. Well, look in the lane number 5 is interesting. Connor Cherrington of Millfield. And interesting double. He's doing backstroke, breaststroke. No, you don't get too many backstrokers doing breaststroke or breaststrokers doing backstroke. But he did the consideration time for the European Juniors on the 100 back, the second fastest backstroker, so I'd imagine he'll get selected not only for the individual, but also either for the relay or backup for the relay. Also did the consideration time last night, the 200 medley. He's in 5, that's Cherrington of Millfield, fastest seed Davis of Soundwell in 4. So the 4th heat of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, it's getting hotter, it's getting quick, and these guys particularly fast. Again, there's a lot of juniors, 7 juniors out of the 10 swimmers in this, the 4th heat of the men's 200 metres breaststroke.
Yeah, lots to look out for here. Still not into the seeded heats. Again, chances all over the pool here. William Godsill going well right at the top there for the University of Bath. 2 lanes down, Tristan Lee, one of the City of Cardiff swimmers taking part here. And so it's in the middle. Cherrington got a little bit of work to do, but 200 breaststroke, still a long way to go, of course. Godsill and Lee right at the top there, looking very good, but still looking, the swimmers in the middle looking very relaxed. And you know, sometimes you can see those making a charge. We saw it in that previous heat there, the heat before. Yeah, late charges on this 200 breaststroke. Let's have a look at the times as they go over the halfway point. 106.95 for Godsill. He's hanging on well on the outside lane there. All the entry times in this one in the 2:23, 2:24 range. But Godsill has gone out, given himself a real chance of improving his entry time with 2:24.5.
Well, he looks fabulous, doesn't he? And lovely high recovery. Try and keep the legs as tight there, as close together, not a wide kick, but as tight a whip kick as possible. Talking to some of the Great Britain coaches about breaststroke and try and maximise the distance that you can get from every single stroke with the efficiency maintained, and Godsill's doing that really well up there in lane 0. Lee in 7 is just about turning in 2nd place from Kershaw in 3rd. It's Charles Kershaw in 3, just coming back now, and he's starting to charge. He's possibly finishing the fastest of all of these guys, but closest to is still going very well in that white hat in lane 7 is Wilfred Lee of Millfield. So it's Wilfred Lee on this side in lane 7, and right at the top there in lane 0 it's William Godsill of Bath. It looks like it's going to be Wilfred Lee of Millfield. It is. 2:21.9. Goodness, another 2.2 second lifetime best. Well done. Well, if you're a mate of Wilfred Lee from Millfield, send him a text and say well done. That's a great swim. 2 second lifetime best on a 200 breaststroke in the heats of the Aquatics GB 2024 Swimming Championships, the national title up for grabs this evening. Lee wins it, Kershaw 2nd, Godsill 3rd with a great time, 2:21.98. So heat 5, the last of the unseeded heats in this men's 200 breaststroke. James Ablucia from City of Birmingham is the fastest seed. Thank you.
Take your marks.
So heat 5 of 8 heats of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. And right in the centre, City of Birmingham swimming is the fastest seed. Valencia. Radu up there in 1, Ito in 2. Excuse me, up right at the top, keep saying 1, in 0 in the heats, isn't it? It's lane 0. Radu of Plymouth in 1, it's Ito of Hackney Aquatics, Bizet, the local boy, Bizet in 2, 3 it's Ransom, 4 Valencia, 5 Jackson, 6 Tuxentin, 7 is Mitchell, 8 Dragasius and Llewellyn in 9. And I'm saying the unseeded heats, all the heats of course are seeded, so the slowest heat is the first heat going through to the final heats, they get faster and faster as you progress. But the last 3 heats in the 50s, 100s and 200s are cycle seeded. So you mix up the fastest guys in those last 3 heats. So you don't get all the fast guys in the final heat, and then most of them, I would imagine, would go through then to the final. So you'd swim the same final heat and then again in the final. So they mix them up a bit, those last 3 heats, but that's where the fastest 30 swimmers are. So this is heat 5, the last of the uncycle seeded heats, to be correct. And Joshua Mitchell of Edinburgh University in lane 7 has gone well down this first 125 metres, Paul.
Yeah, these cyclically seeded heats make it a little bit interesting, isn't it, when you've got 3 of the cyclically seeded with only 8 through to the final. So, you know, even if you're in the top 3 in those last 3 heats, well, 9 will be in the top 3 in the final 3 heats, but only 8 will progress to the final. So no hanging about, no messing about in these final 3 heats, but there's no messing about in this one. Mitchell going very well. Another one of these Edinburgh University swimmers. And again, looking really smooth at the front of his stroke, diving into that breaststroke at the front and looking very relaxed as he's coming through. No one's going to catch him.
Well, he looks fabulous, doesn't he? He really does. He's just increasing his stroke rate into this last 10 metres or so. If he can make sure he continues to hold water when he does so, this is going to be great. 2:19.7. Well, his best time this season was 2:22.2. PB of 2:22.0, no longer, 2:19. He's an under 2:20 swimmer. Look at that. Well done. Yeah. Do you smile first, or do you try and get oxygen in first? Go oxygen. That's a great swim, though. Under 2:20. That's fabulous. Confirmation of the results of heat 5. Josh Mitchell of Edinburgh University, 2:19.78. Oxygen first, smile second, Ransom second, Ito third, Llewellyn fourth. What a swim.
That's what you like to see, isn't it? He gave absolutely everything there.
I'm surprised he needed oxygen. Goodness me. So the first of the cyclically seeded heats. George Smith of University of Stirling, the fastest seed, had a great medley. And in actual fact, he split 1:11 for his 100 metres breaststroke split in that medley. He really put cats in pigeons, and in that he really split the field up, blew him away. It was a great breaststroke split in that 400 medley. Won a silver at the European Junior Championships in 2022, a couple of years ago, in this 200 metres breaststroke. And Josh Williamson, his coach up there in University of Stirling, done a super job with him and the rest of the programme. Team Scotland here, I've got to tell you, having a fantastic meet. I know it isn't Team Scotland, it's lots of different clubs, but generally the Scottish are just pumping them out at the moment. Very, very impressive.
Take your marks.
Yeah, Scots have been on the right end of a few close finishes. Had a few Olympic qualifiers have been confirmed and not had it all their own way. I've had some disappointments as well, but overall I think the guys from University of Edinburgh, University of Stirling can be quite happy with their performances here this week. And we'll see what George Smith can do now. Rory Dixon in that centre lane. Philip Novacki is one that's impressed us this week as well. Yeah, the young 17-year-old, fantastic 100 breaststroke from Tigers of Jersey. And well, you don't see many Tigers of Jersey swimmers. I saw a few age group swimmers coming through. I wonder if he's going to be the one to make the breakthrough into the senior ranks.
Indeed, rare beasts, the Tigers of Jersey, let me tell you. But they're swimming well, certainly. And in actual fact, if you rank the juniors, all the juniors who've done consideration time so far, and there have been 45 swimmers gone 62 consideration times. Philip Novacki ranks third. He beat the consideration time by 4.28%. There you go, there's a stat for you. He's third ranked on all of the juniors at the moment in all the different races that have gone, and he's in lane 6. He's going well at the moment, but no doubt about the leader. The leader is, well, no doubt about him. He's actually been pushed now in 3 and 4. It's Harvey Freeman in 3 of Loughborough with George Smith in 4. Well, I'm sure these guys are going to be trying to go somewhere around the, 2:12, 2:13 mark, something like that, if they can, to make it through to this final this evening. One job to do, and one simple job, although coming to Olympic trials and trying to do that is not easy. Make sure that you get through to the final, certainly if you're one of the seeded guys in the centre lane. Really good second 100 here from George Smith, the University of Stirling student, with his teammate in 5 now starting to take over in second place, Rory Dixon. So Smith and Dixon and Freeman up there at the top of those 3. But Smith looks very good indeed, the youngster. Silver medal at the Junior European Championships 2 years ago. Now he's a senior, and 2:14.7. Well, that should get him through fairly comfortably through to the final. 2:2.16s. They're going to have a little bit more of a squeaky bum time over the next 10 minutes or so, where the next 2 fast heats go.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. 2:16.70. Well, it's Harvey Freeman in 3rd place. 2:16.46 for Rory Dixon, but excellent swim there from George Smith. You heard him on the podium in the 400 IM, said he's only just taken up 400 individual medley in recent times, and you know, what can he do? He concentrates on that one. Excellent 400 IM, excellent 200 breaststroke.
It certainly was. Great heat. It's the second last heat of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, the second of the 3 cyclically seeded heats, and Greg Butler in lane number 4. No, a lot of people are quite excited about this young man. Went to Fukuoka with the British team at the World Championships last year. 60.4 on the individual 100 metres breaststroke. He's good at 100, but I think this 200 he might be slightly better at. And his best time of 2:02.10.6. He's got to do a big lifetime best to make the consideration time, but it's possible. He's got to do it in the final. So job number 1, get through to the final. You can only do the Olympic consideration time. It's called the nomination time here. You can only do that if you do it in the final. It doesn't count. Well, you can do it in the heats, of course, but it doesn't count. So heat 7 of 8 of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, and Greg Butler has been training fantastically well. Let's see what he can do in lane number 4. Gone off very quickly indeed is Butler, but even faster than that, down in lane 7 is Max Morgan from Reeds, who had a super 100 breaststroke, the fastest junior. He is the fastest of all of them in terms of percentages. He's number 1 of the 62 junior swims that have gone under the consideration time. He's number 1. He's 5.36% underneath the consideration time. He went 60.8 on his 100 breaststroke, and the consideration time was 64.0. So, well, he is a sprinter, and he started well. The white hat closer to us, but up there in 4, Greg Butler, doesn't he look brilliant? Wow.
He looks fantastic there at the front of the field. Morgan still in 2nd position. Well, expect the swimmers maybe in the centre to try and come back on them. And Rogers in 3, Griffiths in lane number 5. But look at Butler. Gregory Butler, this is absolutely phenomenal from Butler. That entry time, as you said, Andy, he's going to have to go a lifetime best to try and make that nomination time. Just wonder how close he's going to get to this. He's gone out hard in the first 3 quarters of this. Just wonder if he's going to ease it down a little bit in that final 50s. Going to guarantee a place in that top 8, that's for sure.
Well, he's just split 34.1. If he can come back in the same time, he'll go about a 2:11, something like that. And his best is 2:10.96. So this is a good swim from Butler. It's a gutsy swim. He's not holding back at all. He really is charging, and this is impressive. He's got to try and go just under 2:09 in the final, but he's going to have a cracking lane if he keeps this up. He's going to be one of the fastest. He's going to get a centre lane for the final. Really good swim from Butler. He goes 2:12.87. So just slower than his lifetime best, but plenty to get through. He's done the job. Job number 1, come to the heats, qualify for the final. Simple as that, and he's just done it very, very well indeed. Butler wins it from Max Morgan in 2nd. 3rd was Maxwell Anderson. 4th, Matthew Rogers, with Ryan Griffiths in 5th.
Yeah, great swim from Butler there, 2:12.87, far away ahead of the others, and just looked absolutely supreme there. He's only very slightly down on that final 50, so didn't ease up too much there. But I expect him to go a little bit faster in the final. Still waiting for the confirmed result. Again, always a little bit of a nervous time when there's a delay on this result.
They're just looking at a potential disqualification, so we'll just watch for that. So here's the confirmation result. We'll check and see. Oh, there has been a disqualification. That's a shame. And it's Edward Marcel Whittle as well. He's had a fabulous meet. He really has. He's done 2 or 3 consideration times, 3 I think for the European Juniors, but disqualified on that men's 200 breaststroke. That's a shame. But well, here we go. Here's the last heat of the men's 200 breaststroke, and James Wilby, British superstar, 3rd fastest all time in Britain on the 200 metres breaststroke. He goes in lane number 4. On the 100, he was 2nd to Adam Peaty earlier in this week on the first night. He went 59.47 with a consideration time for the Olympics, 59.45. Outside of it by 2/100ths of a second. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes there. They need a backup for this medley relay. And he's very good indeed. He can still, of course, qualify on this 200 metres breaststroke. So he's got a chance here. He's got one job to do this morning, though, again, and it's simply to get through to the final of this men's 200 metres breaststroke. It is the final heat, and he is he's the class of this field. His lifetime best is 6 seconds faster than anybody else in the rest of the field, but also going well with him is Archie Goodburn, 60.03 on the 100 metres breaststroke. He keeps on getting so close to that 60-second barrier, doesn't he? 60.03, 3/100ths. I'm not sure I can see that much.
No. Yeah, it'll be excellent performance. Archie Goodburn had an excellent performance in the 100 there. Can he follow this up in the 200? He's gone out with James Wilby. So, excellent start from the 2 main contenders there in 4 and 5. Long-standing British record, this one, held by Ross Murdoch in the set in the Commonwealth Games back in 2014. That was a great night for Ross Murdoch.
I can still remember that as if it was yesterday as well. And you know why? Because the photograph of him winning and that close-up of his face, the shock, and his eyes were just like out on stalks. He went 2:07, which at the time still is an utterly brilliant time, 2:07. But goodness me, what a shock that was. I think Michael Jameson was expected to win it, and he still swam very well. But my word, in terms of gutsy swims I've ever watched in my life, that was one of the best, certainly. Top 4, brilliant.
I remember it very well. I was there myself, commentating on that race. I did Ross Murdoch's race on night 1 and Hannah Miley on night 1 of those Commonwealth Games. So it was a bumper night. Did
you really? Well, I tell you what, we're commentating at the moment here on James Wilby, and he looks good. He was looking very good. I think he's just turned the gas off just there. He's done plenty here. He's dragging through Archie Goodburn to a good time as well, and Goodburn's best is 2:13. I think he's going to go pretty close to that, you know. 9, 10, 11, 12. Come on. Oh, just outside of it, I think. 2:12.2 for James Wilby, 2:14.9 for Goodburn. So those two will definitely progress through to the finals this evening. And Wilby, he's got his goggles, his telescope out, his binoculars, trying to see down the other end of the pool. I've got to tell you, this facility is possibly one of the best I've ever been to in the world. It's an absolutely wonderful facility. The Olympic Aquatics Centre here in Stratford in East London. It really is wonderful. We've just seen another great swim, another great heat swim from James Wilby. Done the job, exactly what the doctor ordered. Don't use too much energy. Get through to the final in the centre lane. 2:12.2, that's a good swim from him. Goodburn is 2nd. I'll have to see what is good enough for the final. It's going to be tight. So Wilby's into the final fastest, Butler 2nd, Smith 3rd, Goodburn's in there, Morgan's in there. Wow, some great juniors in that next lot as well. So the B final is going to be full of juniors, and then of course there's the junior final after that. So plenty of junior opportunity here, as well as these brilliant seniors. Can't wait for that final. Can James Wilby go under 2:09 and qualify for the Olympic team by rights on the 200? 2/100ths out of the consideration time on the 100. Brutal. Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, I think John is now talking to James Wilby.
Down here on pool deck with the fastest qualifier for the men's 200 breast. James, I know you said to me 200 breast is never easy, but you made it look pretty easy out there.
Yeah, no, thanks very much. Heats honestly, they're a strange one. You can make them look kind of easy, but I remember I went 2:14 in 2019 and in the heats, and that was one of the hardest 200 breaststrokes I've ever done. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that went, and I'm looking forward to kind of putting something nice together this evening.
Yeah, and you did the 100 on Monday. Super solid swim there. Almost hit that nomination time, like so close. But it obviously gives you a bit of confidence coming into this, your main event.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a tiny bit disappointing, missing out by 200s. But, I got my hand on the wall second, which is, an important factor. And then, always looking forward to this 200. So kind of parked that immediately and started focusing on this because, qualifying here will put me in a really good position for the team selections.
Absolutely. Well, look, good luck tonight. Can't wait to see what you do out there.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing it as well, John. James will be in that final. Greg Butler looked good as well, didn't he? Should be a cracking contest in that final tonight. Multi-class now, 50 metres, backstroke, one length of the pool, and we have one heat in this one. Tegan Davidson goes in by number 2, Ellie Chalice in 3, Claire Connon in 4. Rose Webb, we just saw her, youngest swimmer at the meet, just 12 years of age. Rose Webb, Maisie Catt in 6, and Tully Kearney goes in 7. Ellie Chalice, we just saw her using that starting device. Tully Kearney with a starting device as well. These swimmers in the lower numerical classifications have more severe impairments in the Paralympic programme. Great start there, great turnover there from Tully Kearney. Well, Tully Kearney just recently set a British record, 42.06. She's one of the most experienced campaigners in the GB team. She was a gold medalist at the Paralympic Games in 100 freestyle, silver medalist in the 200. She did the freestyle treble at the World Champs in 2022. She's already got a nomination time. Let's have a look at Tully Kearney into the ball. 42.06 is her British record, and she's just outside that. Other swimmers coming in. Let's watch Ellie Chalice, just at the top of those yellow marked lanes. Paralympic Games medalist and World Championship medalist in this event. She has a nomination standard of 58.62 to make, and she is inside that, so we can add another name to the list. And there is Ellie Chalice, a nomination time achieved for Chalice, who had a great World Championships last year, coming away with 3 gold medals, including one in this event. Claire Connon as well. 854 points for Claire Connon. She'll be the top points earner in 50.56. I don't think she can progress to the final though. Not an international classification. And well done, Ellie Chalice. Nomination time for her. She'll be pleased. She was here on day 1 of the competition. We haven't seen her since, so she's had to wait until day 5 for her big event to come. She's gone through and she's absolutely delivered with that one. Chalice 55.54, just outside the British record, stands at 54.90. So half a second outside the British record for Ellie Chalice. Great swim from Claire Connon at 50.56. That's inside the British record for her, so great swim from her. Not internationally classified though, Claire Connon, so she won't progress to the final, but nevertheless, she did what she had to do. Claire Connon taking that British record for her, so she'll be delighted with that one. Chalice will progress to the final, and she has got that nomination time. Tully Kearney also swimming very well. Rose Webb, the youngster, she has had entry time well. Ellie Chalice getting a little bit of a hand there from Tegan Davidson. Great character, Ellie Chalice. She's been a fixture in the team. Made her debut back in 2019. She's won medals at all the major championships. Had a great championships last year in Manchester, taking 3 gold medals.
Well, I've seen several ways of swimming down. You know, get rid of the lactic acid. I've never seen that one before. It's a cracking idea. I like that one.
I think Ellie Chalice is now with John Mason.
Now down here with the incredible Ellie Chalice on pool deck. Ellie, a Paralympic medalist, a world medalist in this event, and you just hit the nomination time. You just said to me that's all I cared about. So job done in the heats.
Yeah, it is. You know, I raced in Italy 2 weeks ago and I did a PB. That's probably like third or fourth fastest time I've ever done. So I'm happy with it. I find this pool really hard to swim backstroke because of the ceiling. Yeah. But yeah, it was an okay swim. The finish weren't great, but overall, this competition's to hit the nomination time, and that's what I did this morning. So can't be happier.
Can't be happier with that, you know. And you sort of say you swam in Italy. You're here now. We're sort of looking at progressing things as we move towards the Paralympics over the summer. What are you focusing on?
This event is my best opportunity at Games. You know, I'm really excited to swim it. Been fastest than anyone in the last couple years. So hopefully that continues going into Games and. Yeah, I'm just excited. It should be fun. Qualified for my second Paralympics.
Well, we love to see it, and all smiles says it all. Look, good luck. I can't wait to see what you do tonight, and have fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's fabulous, isn't it? Fabulous to see. Next race up straight away is the men's 50 freestyle. And Paul in lane number 3. This is fascinating. This is the able-bodied men's 50 metres freestyle, but look up there in lane number 3, Paul.
Yeah, Will Ellard, S14 swimmer with an intellectual impairment. Set a world record in the 100 freestyle for the S14 classification a little bit earlier on in the week. There is Will Ellard, 23.86 his entry time. It's pretty close to everyone else in this field. Will Ellard very tight in terms of entry times.
Well, he certainly is, but he's going well. He's good start right in the centre. Possibly the best start in lane 5 is Jamie Robertson of University of Stirling. His entry time 23.8, lifetime best of 23.5. So Robertson going well right in the centre, and he looks like he's going to take it. Really good, strong arms, 23.20. Wow, 0.38 of a second lifetime best. Jamie Robertson wins it. Great swim from him. William Ellard second, 23.43. That's a new lifetime best for him. That's a fantastic swim.
Yeah, it is a British record again for Will Ellard in the S14 classification. And there he is, second there to Jamie Robertson with Ethan Richards-Knight in third. Great swim there from Will Ellard. And I guess, Andy, if these para swimmers are fast enough to swim in the able-bodied events, then they're allowed to do so, and why not?
Well, absolutely. We've been talking about it being a joint able-bodied and para trials, but I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Certainly not in 50 freestyle anyway. I think it's we have seen some para swimmers. Natalie Dutoy, of course, made, I think, the Commonwealth Games final in the 800 metres freestyle.
Yeah, swam in the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
In the open water.
This heat 2 of the men's 50 metres freestyle, the fastest seed is Charlie Poole of University of Stirling in lane 4. Sam Crew in 5, Kieran Grant in 6 from Beverley Barracudas. But right up there in lane 1 from the top, is James Le Grice of University of Warwick, and he's going really well. Can he bring it home? Super fast turnover. Also going really well is that in lane 6, Kieran Grant. It is Grant. Grant gets it 23.26. Another half-second lifetime best for the winner. Half a second on a 50 free from Kieran Grant of Beverley Barracudas. Wow. 23.26. 1/10 behind that is James Le Grice of Warwick University in second, with Charlie Poole in third. Wow, 23.2. That's amazing. Half a second lifetime best.
I thought it was a good finish there from Kieran Grant into the end. I did think Le Grice was coming into the wall first, but Grant just spotted that finish perfectly there. 23.26 for first place ahead of Le Grice and Charlie Poole.
Golly, rattling through these heats. This is already heat 3, and well, a couple of guys to watch here. Interesting guys in 3 and 6. That's Dean Fern of Aberdeen Dolphins. Really good 100 fly, 53.9 from him. And then Gabrielle Shepherd in lane 6, City of Leeds. Won the juniors, fastest junior 100 freestyle, 49.8 as a 16-year-old junior. That was the 100 free. This is the 50. Let's see what he can do. He's in 6, Fern in 3. Fastest seed is right in 4. Heat 3 of the men's 50 metres freestyle. Very quick up into his stroke in lane number 5 was Aidan Cannon of Chivalrous. Going really well up the top there in lane 0 is Thomas Bloor of Newcastle. I think he's just leading at the moment with about 10 metres to go. Can he hold on here? Look at this splash and dash. That's why they call it the splash and dash. Also in 8's going well. Who's got the touch? Well, it is lane 0, Thomas Bloor, 23.26. Exactly the same time as the previous heat was won in. And another 0.3 second lifetime best for the winner. Thomas Bloor wins it. Second in lane 8 was Matt Rooney of Leeds. Third was Shaquille Giordani of Birmingham. Goodness me. So lane 0 won it, lane 8 second, lane 2 third. They don't give us much of a chance, Paul, do they?
No. He was delighted with that, wasn't he? He was just pointing there, waving at the end, big smile on the face. That was fantastic from Thomas Bloor.
You've got to have an attitude as a sprinter, otherwise you don't have a chance. You really do. This is heat 4 of 8 of the men's 50 freestyle. Love to see it. Love to see it. Fastest seed is Henry Baker of University of Stirling in 4. Excuse me, he's second fastest in 5. Henry Baker. The fastest is Freddie Ashley Sparks of Plymouth in 4. 15-year-old in 2. Alessandro Donofrio of Mount Kelly. Youngster in 2 in the white hat.
Take your marks.
Good reaction to the gun in lane 5. That was Tom Truman of Derby. Really good from him. Also going well in 7 is Adam Ritchie of University of Stirling. But look up there in lane 0. Harry Robinson of Loughborough University. Well, he's leading at the moment, but they're starting to come back very quickly in the centre. Maybe Freddie Ashley Sparks of Plymouth. Really close. He's too close to call. Maybe Alexander Smith gets it. Oh, Sparks. Ashley Sparks got the touch by 3/100ths of a second from in lane 4 from in lane 3. Alexander Smith second. Third was Harry Robinson. So close. 3/100ths split the first 2 and 9/100ths behind them in third. Confirmation of the result of this heat 4. Sparks, Ashley Sparks first, second Smith, Robinson third. So close.
Yeah, great times from the top 3. I don't think Smith got the best of finishes, though. He's maybe got a little bit more to give here, but still an excellent time, lifetime best for him.
So heat 5 of 8, they're getting really quick now. Expecting to be going close to that 22 point something. And Aaron Elkers of University of Stirling in 4 is the fastest seed, with Ewan Taylor just outside of him in 5, and Theo Cannon in 3 from Gloucester. Let's see if he can fire something special here in 3, Theo Cannon.
Take your marks.
5th heat of 8 of the men's 50 freestyle. It's getting quick. Aaron Elkers of University of Stirling right in the centre there in lane number 4. Great start at the top of the picture though in lane 0 and 1. That's Michael Ripper and Oliver Watts, both of Loughborough University. And it looks like Ollie Watts in 1 is going really well. Also going well in 8 is Rowan Smith of Sheffield. But I think it's going to be up the top there, is it? Yes, it is. 23.12, 12/100ths of a second away from that sub 23 second 50 metres freestyle. It's getting very hot. A new lifetime best for the winner by a long, long way. 0.4 of a second lifetime best on a 50 freestyle. What?
The top of that pool is going well, isn't it? Lane 0, lane 1, lane 2. Had some good results from the top there, and they're in the top 3. Oliver Watts taking it, Aaron Elkers in 2nd, and Michael Ripper in 3rd spot. Big improvements on the 50s here.
Well, that's outstanding. Now it's quick. The 3 cycle-seeded heats. And we've got Matt Richards right in the centre, the winner of the 100 metres freestyle, world champion from last year on the 200 free. Well, he won that 100 freestyle here. Looked so good, under 48 seconds, 47.9. It was really close, though. The top 3, Richards, Duncan Scott, Tom Dean. That men's 4x100 free relay should be something special in Paris for Team GB. Well, he's looking for something fast here, is Richards. Calvin Fry in 3's not slow either. 49.2 lifetime best on the 100 he did. Henry Gray at the top, great 200 fly. This is 53. First of the cycle seeded heats of the men's 50 freestyle. It's heat 6 of 8, and Matt Richards from Millfield, the world champion last year on the 200 free, the champion here on the 100 metres freestyle, going well in 4, but 3, Calvin Fry leading at the moment. Starting to come through is Richards now. Also going well in lane 8 is Nathan Chan of Swansea. Who's going to get the touch? It is, in lane 4, Matt Richards. Matt Richards of Millfield. Second was Calvin Fry. Third, Thomas Carswell. But 22.14 was just outside 22. I know he's going to be trying to duck under 22 this evening. The consideration time for the Olympics, 21.88.
Yeah, it was a good finish from Matt Richards there, taking him ahead. Looked very strong, but a great start for Calvin Fry there. Wow, that was an incredible start for him. And he held on for second place at Loughborough University. Matt Richards taking it though, clear win in the end, with Fry in second, Carswell in third, and Richards, again, as he has done all week, looking really good. Again, pretty similar situation we've got as we had for the 100 freestyle. It's not hanging about in these heats. Some of the big names might miss out.
Well, speaking of missing out, so here is Lewis Burris. He unfortunately did miss out on the final of the 100 metres freestyle. A bit of a shock that. So quick to 50 he was. And then just missed out on making that final. And we did say someone brilliant was going to miss out, and unfortunately it was Lewis. He's still got a chance to make the Olympic team, though, on this, the 50 freestyle. He needs a big one. He doesn't really need a break right here. They're just making sure that everything is absolutely ready and clean for the start. So it's the second last heat of the men's 50 metres freestyle, heat 7. Many of these swimmers, it's their first race. It's day 5. The next heat we've got Ben Proud, awesome 50 metres freestyle. He's the fastest seed into this championship. A couple of years ago, unbeaten in the world. Won the Europeans, won the Commonwealth Games, won the World Short Course, won the World Long Course. Just brilliant. So this is the second last heat. Metcalf of Loughborough in 0. In 1, it's Jacob Mills of Leicester. He just missed out in the junior free final, but it's top 2 juniors, 50.3. Just missed out on the big final, 50.3. So Roberts in 2, Cooley 3, Lewis Burris in 4 with a red hat, Painter 5, Watkins 6, Kempster 7, Ting 8, Way 9. Lewis Burris, what can he do here? He needs a big one. 22 low's fine.
Take your marks.
So the second last heat of the men's 50 metres freestyle. Lewis Burris with the red hat right in the centre. Hasn't had the best start. Possibly Alex Painter from Millfield having a better start. And his 100 freestyle was awesome. Absolutely brilliant. Huge PB of 48.4. He did. Finished 7th. And Painter's leading with about 10 to go, but it's going to be tight. Painter just about going to get the touch, I think. Yes, he does. Painter goes 22.28. He wins it. Second is Burris. Third is Jordan Cooley, 22.4. So 22.28 wins. 22.44 second. 22.47 third. Wow, it's close, isn't it? Really is. Look at these times here. Well, in the end, first and second, a bit of a gap, but then look how close it was after that to second and third. Painter wins it from Burris and Cooley. And I think they'll all go through to the big final. It's going to be tight, though. The target for this final heat, 22.47, very clearly. There's a lot of guys capable of that in this final heat as well. But here he is, Ben Proud. Well, his first race here. He is the body. You check out Ben Proud here. He's just in such fantastic physical shape. Really is. And he's won pretty much everything. Golds at all the majors, except still not quite won one at the Olympic Games. I know that's what he's going to be going for in Paris. Got to do a job here, though. First of all, it's just make the team. Lifetime best. 21.1. Consideration time, it's 21.8.
Take your marks.
Proud in 4. So here we go, the final heat of the men's 50 metres freestyle, and it's Ben Proud running the centre of University of Bath. Such a brilliant start, and look at that, well, he's miles ahead already. This is super to see. Also going very well at the top there is Liam Dawson of Derby, but gracious heavens, Ben Proud is just so good. Look at this. Wow, well, he's going to go close to 22 seconds, to under 22, is he? 21.7. 21.7. Wow, that's big time. That really is big time. And Ben Proud, he's waited a long time to come here and swim this heat of the 50 freestyle. 21.70. The consideration time for the Olympics is 21.88, so he's under it. Unfortunately, the rules say you've got to do it in the final. So great he's done it in the heats, but to make the Olympic team, you've got to do it only in the final and win or come second. Ben Proud, 21.7. Cahoon's second fastest going into the finals. Well, that was good from him. Cumberledge third, 22.37. He's going to be in as well. Look at this. Wow. So Proud, 0.3 of a second ahead of the rest of the field. Fastest then. He is just superb. Cahoon's second, Richards third, Painter fourth. Cumberledge is in there. Burris is in there this time. Good to see him there. Cooley, Fry. Wow. Well, I wouldn't bet against Ben Proud winning an Olympic medley. Still got to make the team, but it would be so good to have him complete the set.
Yes, absolutely. Great swim there from Ben Proud. He was off like an absolute bullet at the start there. Mind the two swimmers around him. Cahoon's been good this week. Cumberledge around for a fast start, but they were overshadowed by Ben Proud. That was absolutely sensational. And inside the 21-second range, inside the nomination time. He has to do it again in the final tonight, but you wouldn't bet against that. Great performances there. And, well, I'd say all to play for the minor places as it looks at the minute. Can anyone else dip under that nomination time? 21.88. There's a few that's going to be close.
I certainly know there's quite a few who are going to be targeting it this evening. With no semi-finals, it's just get through to the finals, job number one, and then job number two. Get your hand on the wall. Brilliant. Well, let's hear what John's got to say to the amazing Ben Proud.
What, 21.7 in a hit, not bad for a heat swim. You hit that time this morning. You just got to do it again tonight, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing during the week. You know, it's not confirmed if you do it in the morning. So come back tonight. But to be honest, for me, this is more about you know, that Olympic preparation, seeing what time I can go. And if I can do a good time in the morning here, then I know when it comes to the games, I can you know, put together a good heat swim. Yeah,
and you know, it's been a sort of a busy season for you. I know you were in the middle of a big training block at Worlds, still managing to pull off that bronze medal there. I know there you said this was your focus moving on to the summer, and you seem to be getting where you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's all progression. All like we're trying to increase the amount of work we're doing through the year. But to be honest, for me as a sprinter, my yardage is low, so to get in a race, that's the best type of training. So every opportunity I have to get a good swim in, I'm going to take it. And just learn as I go.
You said those boys from the 100 were looking good as well.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be great this night.
I can't wait to see it. Well, look, good luck. Can't wait to see what you do.
Thanks.
Well, we can't wait either. It's going to be a cracker tonight in this 50 freestyle. Before that, A final, the Paris final. We have the multi-class final, and here are the swimmers trying to make it into that multi-class final. Right lineup for this one. There's Bruce D. What a week he's had. Lyndon Longhorn, Zach Washington Young, Bruce D, Xander Harris, and Will Perry. That's the lineup for this one. The S6 swimmers. Zach Washington Young, Bruce D, Xander Harris, Will Perry. All four of them in a row. Again, the times for them. It's a real head-to-head, this one. And Bruce D keeping his head down. Xander Harris going well in lane number 5 with the black cap. Zach Washington Young didn't get off the blocks so well as the other swimmers with better legs, but he's coming back into his stroke now. But it is going to be Bruce D into the wall first. 32.72. So the young man, Bruce D, he's been doing lifetime bests all week, and he's done that again. Here's Lyndon Longhorn. What a contest he had with Harvey Phillips last night in the breaststroke. He is a British record holder for the S4 class. Outside of that mark today, Lyndon. And the points, I think it's going to be the S6s who have the highest number of points. A few swimmers not eligible to make the final because they're not internationally classified. Xander Harris being one of them, but he made the most of that opportunity. Look at that, 33.41 for him. But Bruce D, another personal best time for him to take that one, 32.72. Quite tough nomination times for the swimmers here in this 50 freestyle in the men's events. Archie here, S11 swimmer, goes in 0. He'll be wearing blacked out goggles, swimmer with little or no vision. 3 S8s all in a row, Max Davies, Jamie Curtis and Owen Say. Thomas Navarro-Barber, there he is in the centre. The S9 swimmer from Portsmouth North Sea. Ollie Carter. Great swim in the butterfly yesterday. He goes in lane number 5. He's an S10 swimmer. Next to him in 6 is Kieran Williams, another S10 swimmer. Matthew Redfern, great swim in the 100 freestyle. And Stephen Clegg and Felipe Rodriguez complete the lineup. Stephen, number of nomination standards, and Felipe Rodriguez, well, Stephen and Felipe Rodriguez, the Brazilian, 8 times a Paralympic medalist. They're great pals, and it's who's going to get the bragging rights for this one. Felipe is pretty much the favourite, but Stephen will be giving everything. See if the Brazilian, who swims the city of Manchester, can be beaten. But Rodriguez, it's all in a diagonal row here. And Rodriguez gets in 24.29. Decent time for Felipe Rodriguez, 25.00 for Stephen Clegg, just outside the British record, and 25.42 for Matthew Redfern. And that could well be a British record for him in the S13 classification. So Matthew Redfern, I think it might be a British record for him. It follows up the record that he set in the 100 freestyle on a few days ago. So Matthew Redfern in great form, 25.52 for him. And that's a British record time for Redfern. His sister will go on the breaststroke tomorrow, and that's her big event. But will that be good enough for Matthew Redfern to join her on the Paris team if they both make it? There's Felipe Rodriguez and John Mason. Felipe making a guest appearance here. It's known that British swimmers can't progress through to the final. Felipe not yet decided. He tells us if he's going to swim for Brazil in Paris. I think he will, I'm sure he will. Brazilian team won't be able to do without the great Felipe Rodriguez. 872 points for him. He would have been fastest there into the final, of course, non-British national, so he's left that to Stephen Clegg and Matthew Redfern. Double British record breaker this week, I think, in both of the freestyle events. And I think Matthew is now with John Mason.
Second fastest qualifier for tonight. I'm down here with Matthew Redfern. Matthew, you've had a great week. A little splash and dash for you in the morning. You know, talk us through sort of your whole week so far. I have not had a chance to catch up with you and how that race felt.
Yeah, the week so far has been really good. I've been hitting up PBs, so I've been really happy with where I am. That race itself, I thought there were a couple of bits where I could have done a bit better, so hopefully there's more time to come in the final.
And that's sort of what heats are here for, right? You want to get your place in the final and sort of figure out what those niggles are, what you sort of need to rectify heading into the night's racing in front of the crowd. And what were they in that race?
I think my breakout was a bit early, so just coming out the water, I think I lost a little bit. So it's these little couple of like hundredths here and there that really, on a 50 especially, it could cost you. So there's a few attempts to come off that, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, look, I can't wait to see what we do. Have a great time tonight. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So next race up, it is the final able-bodied race of the morning. It is the women's 200 metres individual medley. 9 heats of this, and again, some cracking swimmers in these heats. The final of this one, I think, is going to be really, really interesting tonight. There's a couple of superstars in it, and I'm not quite sure who's going to get it at the moment, if I'm really honest. There really are some great ones. Leah Schlossen. She's a double European junior champion the last 2 years. But then we've got Abby Wood, who's in the Olympic final. She was 4th in that. So Freya Colbert, the new world champion on the 400 medley. She's in the second last heat. And then in the final heat, Katie Shanahan. Also Alicia Wilson. I think she was a World Championship finalist as well. So
Take your marks.
so hard to call. This is the first heat of 9 of the women's 200 medley. Ella McDermott of City of Leeds in lane number 3, the higher of those 3 from where we're sitting. Caris Croak of Torfine Dolphins in 4, and in 5 it's Anna Finley of Northumberland and Durham Performance. And their seed times, well, there's only 8/100ths of a second, splitting all 3 of these on their seed times. So 50 fly, back, breast and freestyle. Try and get easy speed on this. Oh, she really jammed that turn. Ella McDermott, the youngster right at the top there, nearly finished on her nose. So, well, she's still done well. But right there, she can get a couple of tenths of a second. I'm sure she'll be looking at that for her next swim. It's a good fly, really good fly. First to turn up the fly, now a decent backstroke as well. And a 15-year-old Ella McDermott from City of Leeds at the top there going well. Also, the closest lane to us in 5, it's Anna Finley of Northumberland and Durham Performance. So first over at the halfway, and this first heat of the women's 200 medley, it's Ella McDermott of City of Leeds with Anna Finley second, and Caris Croak of Torvane Dolphins right in the centre. Let's see where the breaststroke. This is the leg pull where I have to say I always struggled, and it's the one where the big guns really seem to get going, and Ella McDermott looks really good from Leeds.
Yeah, again, another lead swimmer leading the way. And Northumberland and Durham Performance again. I think it's on a Derwent side cap again. Caps that the Northumberland and Durham swimmers seem to be with their kind of home clubs, rather than the programme that they're representing here at these trials. A great opportunity, of course, for these young swimmers in front of a crowd and in front of in this main arena, which is fantastic facility, as we said, Andy. It's just a privilege to be here, a privilege for these youngsters to swim. Great experience for them. But they're stepping up and they're producing the goods, especially in these early heats, as we've seen in the first few days. City of Leeds and Ella McDermott looks like she might have this one, with Anna Finley chasing her down at the closing stages. And it is Ella into the wall first, and that's another great time. Big improvement as well, 2 seconds.
Yeah, 2.3 second lifetime best for Ella McDermott to win the first heat of the women's 200 medley. And again, Leeds had such a great meet. I'm still trying to entice the Leeds coach to come and have a chat and tell me how he's doing it, because I don't know what it is he's doing, but his recipe for success here at this Aquatics GB Swimming Championships 2024, whatever it is, it's working extraordinarily well. McDermott wins it, Finley second, Croak third. And the second heat of 9 heats of women's 200 medley, they will go through very fast indeed. Emily Morgan Hughes of University of Bath is the fastest seed in lane 4, with Phoebe Williams-Jones of Cardiff in lane 3. So Morgan Hughes and Williams-Jones in 4 and 3. Naomi Parker, the junior, in lane 5 from Millfield School.
Take your marks.
So only 8 lanes of the 10 being used, and this is the second heat of the women's 200 medley. In 1 it's Murphy of Royal Tunbridge Wells, 2 is Hopwood of Guildford, 3 is Williams-Jones of Cardiff, with the Morgan Hughes of University of Bath in 4. 5 it's Parker of Millfield, Moore of Crawley in 6, Chloe Harris of University of Edinburgh in 7, and Georgia Gussie of Plymouth in 8.
Yeah, so it's in the centre there on the 2:24.21, 2:24.14 actually was the fastest entry time. That goes down to 2:24.48. So again, not much between all the swimmers in this one. The swimmers in the outside lanes going really well. The 2 there right at the top, Hannah Murphy and Holly Hopwood, all Tunbridge Wells, Monson and Guildford City. Stroke for stroke there as they come to the halfway point. Down here closest to us will be Chloe Harris, I think, from University of Edinburgh. So those 3 into the halfway point. Again, as we said, breaststroke all important on an individual medley. Let's see if any of these swimmers in the middle can use a strong breaststroke to get them back into contention. Looks like a big gap there as they close up, but here come the swimmers in the middle with this breaststroke charge.
It looks like Sophie Moore, one lane up from the bottom of this shot in lane number 6. Sophie Moore of Crawley really is charging. Also going well is the white hat up there in lane number 2, Holly Hopwood of Guildford City. So it looks like it is Holly just about, but the very strong breaststroke of Sophie Moore coming back on this breaststroke leg. She's going to be first to turn, I think she is. Moore just from Hopwood. Gussie third, Morgan Hughes fourth with Murphy fifth, and Williams-Jones in 6th. Now the freestyle leg, just give it everything. We were talking to a couple of medley swimmers, including the great 400 medley Commonwealth champion, Amy Wilmot, and she was saying, just get to the end of the breaststroke and then just give it all the beans on the freestyle. And there's a lot of beans going on here, certainly. Chloe Harris, Sophie Moore going really well for Crawley. She's going to get the touch. It's tight. I think, she just missed it by 4 100ths. Right at the top there, Hannah Murphy's last 50 was amazing. Really very good. So Hannah Murphy wins it from lane 1 with Sophie Moore in 6th, second. Third was Holly Hopwood in second, in lane 2, with Georgia Gussie in lane 8. Gracious me, try and follow that lot. Lane 1, lane 6, lane 2, lane 8, lane 4. You call the next one, Paul.
She finished like a train, Hannah Murphy there, right at the top, 2:22.75. Great 50 freestyle split there. Excellent stuff.
She really did. Well, I think that's maybe what Amy Wilmot was talking about when she was saying all the beans on the freestyle. Very, very good finish there. So heat 3 of 9. Already getting through, pretty much a third of the way through after this one. And Kira Noon of City of Bristol, the fastest seed in lane 4, with Olivia O'Mahony of Cockermouth in 5. The Cockermouth team, just incredible what they keep on pumping out. I know I do say it quite a few times, but Sean Ballmer and his team there, and it's not just the swimmers and the coaches, but it's the whole thing. The way they run the program, the pool, the support from the parents is just brilliant in Cockermouth. Well done, everybody there. Great team. It's a great team delivering some fantastic swimmers. It really is, and they got some superstars on the world stage. Certainly Luke Greenbank, one of them, is he's now in Loughborough, but came out of that Cockermouth program. Olympic bronze medalist on the 200 metres backstroke. So this is heat 3 of the women's 200 medley, and closest to us is Maisie Guilford of University of Bath, just about leading down this butterfly leg. Does look like she has easy speed. Didn't quite get the touch right. A little bit of a glide into the turn. About 10 metres out, you can start trying to spot the wall and see you can make sure that when your arms go round and just as they're fully extended, that they hit the wall. So very tough thing to do when you're just learning about it, but once you get it, it's so natural and so normal, and such an important thing to try and do.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course the many hours spent in training, many turns in pools, just kind of you almost get conditioned to it in the end, don't you? Adjusting your stroke, how do you do it? It just becomes second nature. You should be really practicing these sort of skills in training, making sure you get your finishes right, your turns right. It's so important. And we just saw in the 50 freestyle a couple of swimmers not quite spotting the finish correctly, and it's very vital, especially in these sprint events, but in all events as well, because you go up to the distance event, you've got so many turns, and as you were talking the other day, Andy, 0.1 on a turn on a 1500 freestyle, where you're talking tens of seconds.
Indeed, 29 turns, and if my maths is right, Paul, you're a mathematician, 29 turns, a tenth a turn, 2.9?
2.9, yeah.
See, I knew I was sitting next to the right guy. Indeed. Well, at the moment we were talking about the Cockermouth programme, and Olivia O'Mahony has swum really well here. There she's in the centre with that yellow hat with a green stripe across it, and really looks very good. Great fly, great back, but great breaststroke legs, really strong breaststroke, and bringing it home super well here. And also going well, closest to us is Maisie Guilford of University of Bath, but the winner, no doubt about that. The lifetime best is 2:23.9. 2:23.9. Oh my word! Well, 2:20, 2:25. Well done. Well done, Olivia O'Mahony, and well done, Cockermouth Swimming Club. Brilliant swim from her. And again, just the lifetime bests at this Aquatics GB Swimming Championships. They just keep on pumping them out, don't they? Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, she's delighted with that one. Breathing a little bit heavy, but no wonder. That's a lifetime best for her, Olivia Mahoney, in 2:25.25 there. Second and a bit ahead of Maisie Guilford, with Emma Price in third place, just ahead of Laura Sharp. Well, those first four swimmers under the 2:25, but big improvement there from the Cockermouth swimmer. And heat number 4 of 9 sees Lara Turner in the fast lane next to Amelia Oliver. Lara Turner from Aquatics of Newcastle. Amelia Oliver, Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. And the two fast lanes have got exactly the same entry time, 2:23.33. But again, we'll have eyes on all of the pool because there's only 0.4 of a second separating everyone in terms of these entry times. So I love a 200 individual medley. Things can happen in individual medleys. Well, the various strengths of all the swimmers come into play. Butterflies, you talked about easy speed all week, and I know exactly what you mean. It's very difficult to put into words, isn't it? But you've got to try and take it out as fast as you can without expending too much energy on the butterfly. You can't win it on the butterfly, but if you're too far behind, it's a real ask to try and come back in the later stages, isn't it?
It certainly is, and for those of us lucky enough to have been good at butterfly, it's relatively straightforward using easy speed on the fly, and those who aren't, I guess it's really quite difficult. Just let it flow and just let the speed go. But then, of course, those of us who might be good at butterfly might be absolutely shocking at breaststroke. So as easy speed as I always had on the fly in the back, the breaststroke, goodness me, they just used to fly past me. A chap called Neil Cochrane, Olympic medalist on medley, absolutely brilliant at all the 4 strokes. It really used to annoy me because I was a fly swimmer. He always used to make the big finals of the 100 metres butterfly. He was a great backstroker. His breaststroke was superb, and he was on the British 4x2 free relay that won a bronze medal at the Olympic Games. So, you know, he was an absolutely brilliant swimmer on all 4 strokes. And fly back, I had him. Breaststroke, I may as well have got out. It wasn't pretty. It really wasn't. But this is heat 4 of the women's 400 medley, and closest to us is Maya Hall of Northumberland and Durham Performance, with Amber Rigg again from Cockermouth, just 1 lane up from the bottom there. They're having a good meet here, aren't they? Hall leading with 50 metres to go. I think just about from Rigg in second, is it? Yeah, just 2/100ths of a second ahead of Imogen Mears from Bromley up there in lane number 3.
She had a very good turn there, Maya Hall, taking a little bit of distance there. And we talked about that the other day. When you get a fast turn onto your freestyle, so the others are still swimming breaststroke, you can have a little bit of an advantage there. You're on the faster stroke, the rest are swimming the slower stroke. And Maya Hall's used that to great advantage here, and she's going to come home and take that one in 2:19.38. Well, 2:23 was her entry time. She's improved that by, what, 4.5 seconds on a 200 IM. Maya Hall. Superb. Silver medal went to Imogen Mears. I say silver medal, second place. We're not in the medal races yet. Getting ahead of myself. Amber Rigg in third as well, but 2:20 for Imogen Mears as well, and Amber Rigg 2:22.
Well, lifetime best all round there, really good. 2.2 seconds for the swimmer in second place, lifetime best, amazing. Hall wins it from Mears in second, Rigg in third, lifetime best for her as well. Waymond in fourth. Wow, lifetime best from her too. I've only got down to fourth. Fifth, let's just check Oliver, she went 22. Yeah, just, yeah, inside her lifetime best as well, very good. So, heat 5 of the 9 heats in this women's 200 medley. It's starting to get to the sharp end, it certainly is, but right at the top there in lane 0. Goodness me, there's the, is that the Mount Kelly athletes? Yes, it is in lane 6. Swimmer from Rugby and 5, that's Morgan Brand. Fastest seed is 4, Grace Greenhalf of City of Norwich. Right at the top, Lydia Cardle
Take your marks.
Lydia Caudle of Repton. Well, she is 13 years of age, Lydia Caudle. Just incredible. Great to see her in this, one of the faster heats of the women's 200 medley. Swam a wonderful 400 medley. Won a heat from lane 0. So watch out for her. But going well down this first fly leg, and it does look like reasonably easy speed from the Mount Kelly student, Chloe Brown. They've had a great meet here, Mount Kelly swim team. Let's see her. Very good. Well, she spotted that wall perfectly. 29.00. First to turn is Chloe Brown and Mount Kelly. With second, it's Grace Greenhalgh of Norwich.
Yeah, again, at this stage of the competition, in fifth day of competition, you get to kind of recognise names that you've been commentating on. Chloe Brown is certainly one of them, and that's an indication that they're towards the front of the field. They're hitting their lifetime best in a number of events, and Chloe Brown certainly from Mount Kelly has been one of those names. Looking like it's the halfway stage. Let's check the splits on this backstroke. Good split there for Emily Maxwell right down at the bottom, bringing her back into contention. 36.25, and also Ines Gilmore-Beetham as well, 36.01. But onto the breaststroke, and well, Chloe Brown looks like she's extending that lead, and now she's being chased by Emma Allett-File from Guildford.
Well, she is. Allett-File is strong breaststroker, closest to us, with that slightly unique, slightly distinctive breaststroke style of hers. Sort of breathes almost under her arm, slightly to her left. But holding her off is Chloe Brown at the moment. Chloe Brown first to turn into the freestyle leg. I wonder if she can just see if she can get round those walls a little bit quicker, Chloe Brown. But this is a good swim from her, the Mount Kelly student, and she's a good freestyler as well. Still having a go at her, though, is Emma Allett-File of Guildford City. Two very different strokes there. Look at that. Fast turnover, almost like a distance freestyle stroke is Chloe Brown. And then Emma Allett-File, where she's catching is Allett-File. She's catching quite quickly. I don't know if she's going to leave it too late, but it's going to be mighty tight on the finish. I think she might get it, She, 1/100th of a second. Well, it looked like Emma Allett-File's arm went over first, but the stretch of Chloe Brown got it. Good job she didn't cut her fingernails this morning. 2:20.60. And great swim from her, from Chloe Brown. So Brown wins it from Allett-File by 1/100th of a second. Louise Bresler in third in lane number 1. So the outside lane's doing really well.
Yeah, Chloe Brown taking that one 1/100th. It was a good contest there at the end. Emma Allett-File, well, she came off at the start of that freestyle, and I thought that Chloe Brown was away and clear, but with every stroke, Emma Allett-File brought it back. And there's the lineup for heat number 6 of the 9 heats, with Mari Craig from Edinburgh University, another Edinburgh uni swimmer in a centre lane next to City of Sheffield, that familiar red cap there of the City of Sheffield, Willow Harrison. Willow Harrison
Take your
just turned
marks.
15. We've got a couple of young swimmers as well on this one. A few born in 2010, Lois Child and Gisela Solano. So a few juniors in this heat number 6. Looks like might be Lois Child, one of those juniors. He's 14 years of age. Lois Child. 2 lanes up from the bottom. In lane number 7. It's like a strong butterfly there for Child, 29.37. That's not hanging about. That first leg of this medley. Again, the entry time's 2:22, and we've seen a few swimmers dip under that. A couple under the 2:20 range, a few on the 2:20 already. So I wonder if these swimmers can dip under that 2:20. Always great to get under these barriers, isn't it? 2:20 is definitely one of those on an IM.
Well, it certainly is at this stage of their career. And then, another really big one, of course, is the 2:10, which is getting crazy. And I've got to say that we've had some fantastic 200 medley swimmers in our time. Certainly Siobhan Marie O'Connor, I think she's here at this meet, but I think she's still one of the fastest 5 in history on 200 medley. Didn't she go like 2:07 or even maybe 2:06 at the Olympics. Very nearly won. Really exciting that was. Well, this is a great swim here. In lane number 6, it's Anna Farr of Leicester Sharks with Lois Child right next to her in the yellow hats, going really well. Also, Gisela Silano of Guildford City in that white hat closest to us there, but leading well is Anna Farr. So Farr's going to go into the final turn, with a lead of about a metre from Silano in lane 8, Cotter in 2, Child in 7, Broughton in 1. Really spread all over the pool, the leaders, and this is heat 6 of 9, the last of the uncycle seeded heats in this women's 200 medley. Some real big guns coming in the next 3 heats. This is going to be interesting. See if they can go sub 220 here for this 200 medley. Paul, you were saying, can they get under the 220 barrier? This is going to be interesting to see. Anna Farr's entry time 2:22.29. 2:22.29. She's just outside of the 220 barrier, but it's a new lifetime best by a quarter of a second. A great swim from her. Silano second, and third was Kate Cotter of Chelmsford City. So some more good swimming there on that heat 6. It's the one before the cycle seeded heats, and well, so many opportunities to swim again in the evening. Junior final, B final, A final. Anna Farr from Leicester Sharks winning heat 6 of the women's 200 medley, 2:21.9. Silano second, Cotter third, with Roscoe fourth. So here we go. This is the first of the cycle seeded heats, and we've got Leah Schlossen in there from Leeds. She's been the European junior champion for the last 2 years running. Last 2 consecutive years. Amazing swimming as a junior. It's time for her to see if she can step up into the senior ranks now. It's not easy because there's some great swimmers still to come in the next 2 heats. Abby Wood, Freya Colbert. Freya Colbert, world champion 400 medley. Abby Wood, Olympic finalist 200 medley. Katie Shanahan, of course, as well in the final heat. Phoebe Cooper's great as well in 5. A real youngster. Fabulous junior. Gold and silver at the Junior Europeans last year.
Take your marks.
So the fastest 2 in this second last heat, or third last heat, I should say, of the women's 200 medley. Leah Schlossen of Leeds, the fastest seed in the yellow hat right in the centre. And 1 lane closer to us from that yellow hat of Leeds, also inside those yellow lane lines in the centre, is Phoebe Cooper, the Sheffield swimmer. Interesting, Paul, that Phoebe Cooper, she's very good in the evening. She's not quite learnt yet to get the faster swimmers in the morning, and it's okay while she's such a great junior, but I'm sure she'll be working with her coach to try and see if she can put in slightly faster heat swims to make sure that when she does progress into the senior ranks that she's not left behind in the heats. And you know, it's all well and good being able to swim quick in the finals, but if you don't get there, it's not that much use.
Well, I mean, we've seen that this week, that 100 freestyle, of course, so some of the big names missing out. You know, you've got to be able to get up and produce the goods in the heats if you're going to progress to the semi-finals, if they have semi-finals, and the finals if you're at championships like these Aquatics GB championships here. And you know, it's a skill. It's something, if you've been very dominant in the junior ranks, maybe you don't have to work too hard in the heats, and you've been able to progress in your age group. But once you get into the seniors, well, it's a different game.
Well, it certainly is. There's plenty of ways to do it. I mean, get up earlier is one. Try and find some sort of routine that wakes you up and wakes you up properly. I used to get up pretty early, and you can go for a walk, you can do a little bit of a skip session, or you can, you know, not obviously nothing that's going to hurt you, but just get your heart pumping a little bit and wake you up that little bit earlier. So when it does come round, it's now, you know, 12:29, so it isn't a morning swim anymore. Strictly by definition, it's afternoon now. So there's no reason why swimmers can't go faster. I'm not having a go at Phoebe Cooper. She's a fabulous swimmer, and she's doing well here. She's got the red hat on, 1 lane closer to us from the leader, Leah Schlossen. And it's just one of those things that morning swims for some people are a bit of an issue. It's not that difficult to deal with, just got to learn the best way for you to do it. Leah Schlossen's going to win heat 7 of 9 heats of women's 200 medley. That's an impressive swim. Looks good from her. Schlossen 2:15.2. Well, it would have been pretty comfortable, that. Second, Phoebe Cooper 2:16, 2:17.6. for Beatrice Varley of Plymouth Leander. And that's the first of the cycle seeded heats. So it looks like 2:16 or so is the target for the next 20 swimmers. It's not that fast, you know, so there's plenty of swimmers in these next two heats who will feel that they can make the final here. Schlossen wins heat 7 from Cooper, Varley and McNair.
Yeah, 2:15.20 leads the way. As you said, Andy, a number of swimmers in these final two heats are very capable of going faster than that. Look at that, Loughborough trio in the centre. Billy Booker going in 3, Abby Wood and Freya Colbert. Well, that's the big two in the middle. Loughborough, an embarrassment of riches on this 200 IM.
So it's heat 8 of 9, the second last heat. Wood in 4, Colbert in 5 with Lily Brooker in 3. What a heat this is.
Take your marks.
Well, Abby Wood's in lane 4. She was in the Olympic final, very, very nearly won an Olympic medal on this 200 medley. She's already come second on the 200 metres freestyle, so she's on the train to Paris. She's going to be in that women's 4x200 freestyle relay. I'm sure they'll get her to swim the 200 freestyle if she wants to. Freya Colbert, interesting, in lane 5, world champion on the 400 medley, won the 400 medley here. Also won the 200 metres freestyle, but doesn't want to swim it at the Olympic Games. But look at that turn. Wow, look at that turn from Abby Wood. Really good. It doesn't look like Freya Colbert's particularly pushing it at the moment. The red hat's closer to us of those two leaders. Doesn't look like she's giving it all the beans at the moment. Abby Wood, sensational fly-back turner. She's a very good breaststroker, also Olympic finalist on the 200 breaststroke. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race unfolds. Better backstroke from Colbert than Wood, but better breaststroke from Wood than Colbert. And they're both excellent freestylers. This will be interesting.
Yeah, she really caught up well there on the backstroke, but Wood on to the breaststroke now just takes a little bit of an advantage. Billy Booker had a good 200 breaststroke as well. Expect her to try and come back on her two clubmates there just ahead of her. Holly Widows was lying in 3rd place, the 18-year-old from Mount Kelly, down in lane number 6. But wow, look at this from Abby Wood, stretching away from Freya Colbert. This is impressive.
Well, she's going for it, isn't it? This is interesting. She doesn't need to go this quick. 140. Well, she's going to be a little bit outside of a lifetime best of 209, but this is it's an interesting way of doing it. I didn't expect her to want to go quite this quick. She's been talking tactics with her coach Dave Hemmings, and she's a good 4 metres ahead, almost 5 metres ahead at the moment, with about 10 metres to go. Abby Wood is going to win the second last heat of the women's 200 medley. It's an impressive swim. It's going to be somewhere around 2:11, 2:10, 2:11, something like that. 2:11.3. That is good. 31.2 on the final split, with a 32.1 from Freya Colbert. Well, much of a muchness on the 200 freestyle, and 1 second difference on the freestyle leg. So Freya clearly not pushing it anywhere near as much as she could do. Wood wins it from Colbert in 2nd. Booker 3rd, 2:17.2. So it looks like a 2:16, even a 2:17 very low, and you're going to make the final here. This is really interesting. What an opportunity for the swimmers in this final heat of the women's 200 medley. Here's confirmation of the result of heat 8. It was a big one as well. Wood wins it from Colbert 2nd, Booker 3rd. The winning time's quick, 2:11.3. Colbert will be in, but that was a very comfortable swim from her. Same coach, slightly different tactics. That's interesting, isn't it? The final heat of the women's 200 medley, and Katie Shanahan, well, she's come 2nd on the 200 backstroke, 2nd on the 400 medley, both inside the nomination times, but not automatically on the Olympic team yet. Absolutely sure she will be on both of those events, but the selectors have to select her, not me.
Take your marks.
The final heat of the women's 200 medley, Katie Shanahan goes in lane number 4. Lissy Wilson of Guildford City, she's a very good medley swimmer as well. I think she made the final of the Olympic Games. I think she might have done, or World Championships, one of the two. I'll look that up for you. But Alicia Wilson in 5. She was training at University of California, Berkeley, but she's moved to Texas now, so she's now at University in Austin, Texas. She's a Longhorn. There we go. First the turn is Wilson with Shanahan second and Hall in third.
Yeah, good start from Wilson, but this is Shanahan on to the backstroke, one of her strengths in the individual medley. Expect her to pull up. Candice Hall going well. 2 City of Sheffield red caps there. Just behind the 2 leaders, but Shanahan, well, what a great week that she has had. Some excellent times posted, nomination standards achieved, but she's just been on the wrong end of 2 phenomenal swims in the 400 IM and of course in that 200 backstroke last night. So she will come out and hoping for something special on this 200 individual medley. As you said, Andy, I can't think of a way that Katie Shanahan will not be on that team for Paris, but she would just like to make sure.
Well, she most certainly would. And speaking of Wood, Abby Wood in the final this evening is going to be very tough to beat. It's going to be interesting to see how the race tactics here unfold in the heat. How do you deliver your very best self in the final tonight? Do you want to push it a little bit this morning, get rid of some cobwebs? That's certainly what Ben Proud said to me as he walked past the commentator's desk earlier on. He was a little bit nervous for his first event. Get rid of some cobwebs. He did just that. He went 21.7 on that 50 freestyle. And I think here, Katie Shanahan's just putting in a little bit of work here just to get her body pumping this morning. So when she comes to this evening, she's going to be fully awake, fully on it, deliver her very best self and see if she can win one. Second on that 200 back, second on the 400 medley, both inside the time. I'm sure she'll be on the train to Paris, but eased off quite a lot at the end, 32.0. She'll be going 30 points tonight, I'm sure, on that final leg. 2:13.8 wins the final heat, so she's going to have a centre lane for the final. 2:15.9 was second, and 2:17.0 third. So Candice Hall will be in. Well, it's going to be tight for those final places in the final, isn't it? 6, 7, 8, 9 is going to be really close.
Yeah, I think low 2:17 should be all right. Maybe mid 2:17 might make it, I think. Shanahan certainly will be there, Alicia Wilson as well, and Candice Hall. I think that'll be good enough for her.
So Shanahan wins the final heat of the women's 200 medley. 2:13.8 is pretty quick, pretty solid. Wilson second. Let's see. I think both of them have got through to the big final. Let's have a look. So Wood is in with Shanahan second, Colbert third. What a final that's going to be. Those 3 with Schlossen as well. Wilson's in. Phoebe Cooper's made it. That's great. Booker's in. Wow. That's going to be a heck of a final. Wood, Shanahan, Colbert, Schlossen, Wilson. Look at that lot. Wow. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be one of the highlights of the meet, I think, for me, is that women's 200 medley, particularly with Katie Shanahan not quite yet having won in a consideration time. Second in a consideration time, very good, and I think she'll go, but I'm sure she'll want to win one.
Yeah, she'll be hungry for this one, that's for sure. But Abby Wood looked very good in qualification, so it's going to be a tight event. It's going to be one to look forward to, that's for sure. Could go absolutely anywhere between those top 4 qualifiers. Katie Shanahan looked good. Abby Wood looked good. It's going to be an excellent final to look forward to.
Well, it certainly will. Going through all the qualifiers, and Katie Shanahan just walking past me now, looking very good indeed. Say again? I'm live on the telly right now, Katie. Do you want to tell people how did it go?
Yeah, it was very good. I can't believe I'm on the telly.
Can I talk right now? No, I can, but I'm live on the telly. I'll talk to you later on if that's okay. She's a lovely lady, isn't she? That was Katie Shanahan. She was quite who wants to have a quick chat, maybe in 5 minutes or so. That's hilarious. Anyway, I think John Mason's got a bit of a superstar with him down on the pool side. We'll see that in a second. Just go through the final swimmers. There we go. And who's John got with him? Let's have a listen to this.
Down here on pool deck with the incredible Abby Wood. Abby, qualified in that relay the other night, but I know this is your main event. This is your focus. Looking to try and beat that PB. 2:09.1, is it?
Yeah, so that was from Tokyo. So to be able to do it this Olympic year would be really special. And my family will be here tonight. they've not got to see me race at that level just because of how much COVID's affected that. And so to have them here and see it, like hopefully a strong swim, like it would mean a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you looked super comfortable out there. It was like a 2:11.3 for a heat swim. It's not bad at all. You know, very close to that nomination time as well. Were there things in that race that you sort of felt went maybe a little bit wrong that you want to sort of fix for tonight?
I don't know if it was wrong. It was probably more planned. Like I just wanted to practice my back end, which will make the difference to my PB. And so I just did the first 100 smoother. Not smooth, smoother. And then I like put the pressure on the breast and free. And so if I just like turn up at the heat on the first 100 tonight with great backstrokers with Katie and Freya either side of me, like I'll be set up really well to hopefully do something near my best, yeah.
And I mean, they're amazing backstrokers, sorry. So it's always going to be a race with you guys. It's fun to watch. Good luck tonight. We'll see what you can do.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's hilarious, isn't it? Absolutely fabulous. Lovely lady Abby Wood, as is Katie Shanahan. I'll have a chat with her in a second. Well, Paul, you cover this final race of the morning, the MC 200 metres individual medley heats.
Yeah, you can have your chat, Andy. I'll do this race. 3 heats of this one. Multi-class 200 IM. And we have Amanda Redhead from Maxwell. There's Grace Harvey. She goes in lane number 5, closest to us, again being held on the block. So you see him all week. Amanda Redhead going from the sit start. And in the middle of those two is Iona Winifrith. Just 12 years of age with a swimmer in that yellow cap. What date are we on? Her birthday's on the 11th of April, so when's that? Next week or so. Iona Winifrith will be 13, so she's still 12 years of age and a real prospect for the GB Para team. Grace Harvey will lead them out. Grace Harvey won the World Championship silver medalist in 2022. She just missed out on a medal at the World Championships last year, and that was held in Manchester, finishing in 4th position. Again, Grace is one that we saw her at the beginning of the week, but of course she's had to wait all week for her best events, this 200 individual medley, and of course 100 breaststroke tomorrow be a real target event for Grace Harvey. She's world champion in that event back in 2022. So watch out for Grace Harvey on as we go into the second half of this one. She's been on the GB team for a few years now, Grace Harvey. Swimming in the S6 classification. She'll swim against the likes of Maisie Summers-Newton, who's a champion in the 200 metres individual medley in the SM6 classification. We'll see Maisie go in the next heat. Of course, in para swimming, each swimmer actually has 3 classification numbers against their name. They have an S class, which is for freestyle and for backstroke and for butterfly. I'll have an SB class, and that the B just means breaststroke. And sometimes you see the para swimmers have a different breaststroke class than they do for their freestyle class. That's because if they have a lower limb impairment, because breaststroke is primarily a leg-dominated stroke, the lower limb impaired swimmers might go down a class for breaststroke. So Grace Harvey, for example, she's an S6, and she will go down to an SB5 for breaststroke. Iona Winifrith, well, she has remains in the same class for breaststroke as she does for freestyle. She's an S7, an SB7. And of course the SM is just a combination of those two classes, the SM being a medley. So Grace Harvey going through. Nomination time for Grace. What's very quick time for nomination for Grace Harvey. 3:04.09, but can she get under that? She's going to be very close, you know, Grace Harvey. 3:05.08. So well done, Grace. It's a good swim. It's season's best of 3:04.69, so she's not too far away from that. There's the young 12-year-old Iona Winifred enjoying herself here in London. We saw her in the 50 breaststroke earlier on in the week as Amanda Redhead gets in 607 points, 325.74. So well done, Grace Harvey, taking that one in a big points total, actually, 869 points for her. 688 for Iona Winifred, 607 for Amanda Redhead. But keep an eye on that, 688 might be good enough for another swim in the final. Certainly Grace Harvey should be in that final. It's all done on points, of course. The points totals generated there are the closest that the swimmers have got to the world best time in the last 2 years. So 1,000 points is the world best time in the last 2 years. The lineup for this second of the 3 heats. Again, we've got the Humphrey sisters in this one. And Liza Humphrey. There's Connie Ratley in the centre lane. She's next to Eva French. The 2 Humphrey sisters either side of the pool this time. They were right next to each other in the 400 freestyle. But Liza Humphrey right at the top.
Take your marks.
You see the tappers for both of the Humphreys sisters. Scarlett Humphrey 1 line down from the bottom. So Scarlett Humphrey is the British record holder at 2:49.89. But the nomination time that the Humphreys have to make is 2:35.99. We talked a little about Maisie Summers-Newton going up there in lane number 2. Just 3 lanes from the top. She's in the SM6 classification, and she is one of the real superstars of para swimming in Great Britain. She's a world champion in this 200 individual medley twice over, 3 times over in fact. And she won that in 2019, 2022 and 2023. And of course she claimed the gold medal at the Paralympic Games as well. So we'll keep an eye on Maisie, just in the 3rd lane down from the top. Multi-class, of course, it's not necessarily the swimmer who touches the wall first who will claim the title. And the swimmers of the higher numerical classes, the lesser impairments, might post faster times, but might not be close enough to that world rank time to get high points total. So it is Ratley, Willis, Letton-Jones and Hale. Letton-Jones has been swimming very well, the visually impaired swimmer, going in lane number 3. But a bit of a goggle malfunction there. I think that's Connie Ratley having some difficulties with the goggles in the centre lane. It's never easy when that happens. Oh, look at that. That's not going to help at all. She's doing a decent job sticking to the task though, Connie Ratley. It's Megan Willis, the Welsh Commonwealth Games swimmer. She's had a good week so far. And she is going to hit the front here. Scarlett Humphrey going well. British record, as I said, for Scarlett Humphrey. It's 2:49.89, so she should be on possibly for a crack at that record. Maisie Summers-Newton, she hasn't achieved the nomination time yet, but I'm sure she will in this one, her number 1 event. The standard that she has got to achieve, Maisie Summers-Newton, is at 3:04.09. As the leading swimmers come down to the finish now. And another nice swim there from Megan Willis, 2:46 for her. Let's just wrap up the times as these swimmers come into the centre. Scarlett Humphrey, 2:54 this time. And Maisie Summers-Newton, 2:59.75, and that will be good enough for a nomination standard for Maisie Summers-Newton, 3:04.09. So the Paralympic champion will be safely under that nomination time. So thumbs up from Maisie. It's a bit of a relief, I think. She didn't achieve that in the 400 freestyle. I know she gets very nervous before her races, Maisie Summers-Newton. There's no need to. She's absolutely a fantastic para swimmer, Maisie Summers-Newton. She always delivers on the big stage, but she always gets super nervous before her events. Remember at the World Championship, she started as a firm favourite to win the title. And before the race, she was nearly in bits, really. She came out and performed absolutely to the max and took that world title. So just telling Ella Letton-Jones what her time was, the visually impaired swimmer. And Maisie Summers-Newton will be there. 2:59.75. The result is confirmed after the blacked out goggles have all been checked. 949 points. So well done, Maisie. Nomination time achieved. Job done for the morning heats. And she can come out tonight in that final. Maybe improve on that time. There's the lineup for heat number 3. Again, a few people that have already made nomination times in this third heat. One that hasn't is Faye Rogers, who goes in line number 6. Well, I say she hasn't. She did swim the 100 fly, so she has now.
Take your marks.
Sorry, Faye. Forgetting that we had 100 metres butterfly swim a little bit earlier, so it's another event for her. Tony Shaw back in the water again. Again, a range of S14s in this one, including the 3 closest to us. Olivia Newman-Baronius, bit of a newcomer, made her JB debut in the World Para Series in Italy just a couple of weeks ago. And she's really burst onto the scene. And just a pretty good timing for the GB Para team. She's achieved a couple of nomination standards. Poppy Maskell, though, leads them through. Great backstroker, Poppy Maskell, silver medalist at the World Championships last year. Already a nomination standard in the bag for Poppy Maskell in that event. Olivia Newman-Baronius in 2nd position in the S14s. Poppy Maskell there, 106.21. She goes through. Trying to achieve another nomination time. That time. Oh, Great British record is at 2:19.55. The nomination standard 2:26.48, so achievable for the likes of Poppy Maskell, Olivia Newman-Baronius. As they come now to this final turn, Louise Fiddis trying to come back on the breaststroke, right in the centre. Grace Robinson going well in lane 4. Brock Whiston in lane number 5. She might get a big points total, the SM8 swimmer. Tony Shaw as well, watch out for her in the centre. But the 2 S14s now, stroke for stroke. Poppy Maskell now being caught by Olivia Newman-Baronius. This could be a real kind of rivalry brewing between these two. They've had very good weeks here at this championships. And Olivia Newman-Baronius is coming home now in a very fast time there, 2:25.90, and that is inside the nomination time again. Another nomination time done for Olivia Newman-Baronius. Poppy Maskell just outside on this occasion. And Tony Shaw in with a big points total, 854 points, 2:40. So well done, Olivia. A real find for the GB team. 902 points if that result stands. And that rivalry with Poppy Maskell, it's really ramping up actually over a number of events this week. We've seen it. Olivia, the newcomer to the S14 class. Poppy Maskell has been around for a couple of years and really impressing us with the performances that she's had. Faye Rogers went under the 240 mark. Just in 2:39, and she was just ahead of her teammate Tony Shaw, who went 2:40. So again, just outside the nomination standard times. So again, a little bit of a wait for the result. While we possibly were hearing we might have a disqualification, but that's just got to be checked. Let's hope it doesn't affect the top performers here. Brock Whiston had a good swim again. Another swim from Brock this morning. And that is confirmed. Well, it's disqualification for Amber Haycock. That's unfortunate. Brock Whiston is the top points earner, equal actually with Olivia Newman-Baronius, 902 points apiece. And they should progress to the final. Maisie Summers-Newton leads the way. That's no surprise for the Paralympic champion to be in first position there. Brock Whiston and Olivia Newman-Baronius will be in there as well. Poppy Maskell, Grace Harvey, Tony Shaw, Louise Fiddis and Megan Willis will complete the lineup for that one. And there are the other swimmers. Big points totals there on that second screen. Isabella Haynes there, 600 points. And Ella Litton-Jones, the final swimmer in terms of points. So that is the final result, and John Mason is with Scarlett and Eliza Humphrey.
What a fantastic way to finish off this morning's heat sessions. I'm down here with Scarlett and Eliza Humphrey. They've had a very busy program this week, but Scarlett, I'm going to come to you first. Both of you have hit the nomination time for this week. Does that sort of take the pressure off as we head to the end of your program?
It does, I think, because you know you've got the time earlier in the week, and then you can swim later in the week with more freedom in your events. You just swim and it'll not worry about the time or the outcome, because you know you've done your best earlier in the week, and then what comes is a bonus. And for me, it also gave me an incentive to try and work harder in the other events, because I wanted to try and hit the other times to try and get as many as I can.
Absolutely, you want that number to be as high as possible. And I know tomorrow's the last day of racing, is your biggest day. You've got like a 15-minute turnaround between those events. How's the body feeling heading into the final day?
It's not too bad, actually. I feel quite good, even though it's the penultimate day of the meet. We've completed good swim downs and recovery after each race, so I'm actually feeling quite good. So hopefully it continues into tomorrow.
A finish and going out with a bang. And Eliza, I know you just said you got a PB in that heat there, and a 1 second PB. You set the last one 11 months ago. Doing it before the year is out is a great way to sort of finish out your heat session.
Yeah, this event's been just like a fun event for me, because medley can be a bit hit and miss for me. So I set my PB in May 2023, and I was like, oh, we'll just see where it goes. And then, today getting a 1 second PB, I was like, finally, 11 months. But yeah, that's going well, and hopefully I can now try and go sub 3 minutes at some point. Hopefully not in 11 months' time, but maybe before then it'll be nice.
Hopefully over the summer, maybe. That'd be nice. Well, look, thank you so much. Good luck for the rest of the meet. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes our heat session for the penultimate day of racing. It's been a great one. I think tonight's finals are setting themselves up for a fantastic one. Make sure you're tuning in. We're going to be live in the studio with some very special guests from 6:45 p.m. First dive is at 7 p.m. But get off. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll see you then. Bye from myself, Paul Noble, and Andy Jameson. Thank you.